solo.
And hello! Welcome to Solo Playthroughs. Make sure my audio is on. I am apparently hooked up correctly, so here we are. Set a Watch Swords of the Coin. This was sent to me kind of suddenly by Joey, who was like a patron of mine for like a day at that point, and it was like, "You need Swords of the Coin. Here you go," and sent it to me, and I appreciate that. So I dig it, man. I really Set a Watch has probably been my biggest surprise in recent months as far as games that are new to me that I've like, whoa, this game is really, really good. Has definitely moved up very quickly in my top games list. So we'll see that how quickly. I guess we'll see that in my top 10, which is coming out next month. Again, my top 10 solo games. I probably like the base game a little bit more than I do Swords of the Coin. I have some reasons for that, which will come out, I'm sure, during this playthrough. But the characters are super cool. And, I find the stuff with the items makes it a bit easier, which is fine, I guess, but not necessarily. The items aren't like totally game breaking, and you do need to work up to get them. And it's not like you're going to have a ton of them over the course of a game. So there are little benefits here and there. Overall, I find the enemies a little bit easier. One of the things that I guess I'll just talk about now, one of the things I really don't love is how I feel like a lot of designers and a lot of publishers do this where they're like, "Hey, make this game the game you want." And I'm like, "Tell me how to play the game." I don't like to feel like I need to get into design. That's not what I enjoy about gaming. Give me rules, especially now. I think we have so many games. Like, I don't want to like fiddle with your game and see what works for me. I want to know how to play it, and then if it doesn't work for me on that score, then I'll just sell it, right? Or I'll explore what I want to explore, then I'll sell it. But when you're like, "Hey, here's all these things you could do," and there's like kind of these loosey goosey rules, that's a thing. And when you have a game like this where you basically added a whole bunch of new content, what's combinable, what's not, you have all these rules for deck building. I don't want to build the deck to play Set a Watch. That's just not what this game is for me. I want to take the enemies, put them on the table, and make it work. One of the rules that gets really funny, and it's like totally, it's not clear. This rulebook's garbage, by the way. Like, not garbage, but whoa, there are so many new abilities with these characters. They could have done a much better job in explaining how some of these things are supposed to work. I have most of it down, I think. But if I have to look at this rule book as we play, just understand that is definitely a thing that might happen. But one of the things that's really weird is the way they discuss acolytes, because in the base game there's only two, and you need to have at least two in your deck. Here they give you four, and it's like, oh, you can play with more or less or what? So it's like, what? What's happening? I saw something from Mike, who was, again, one of the designers, the lead designer. I'm forgetting his name. Do they have it in the rulebook? No, they have it on the part of the box, which I don't have access to right now. But Mike is, I believe, the owner of Rock Manor Games. I've met him personally, super cool guy, and he's super active on BGG. So if you're going to give me like some rules ambiguities, the fact that you're active on BGG and you've done, it's like Tristan Hall, right? I think the rule book for Gloom of Kilforth is garbage. But what makes that not awful is that the designer is engaged with the community and answering questions. Mike's very similar, and I really appreciate that they take the time to support their games, because you have a number of games where you can't take that for granted, like Champions of Horror, right? Amazing game, potentially could be so much better, but there's no support for it. So this game has a ton of support for it, and I think that's really, really cool. And I did personally back Forsaken Isles, the next Kickstarter. I'm super excited about that. I am trying to get a review copy of Outriders ahead of time so I can get that on the channel. Outriders is like a mini expansion which kind of adds new creatures, which again I think sound pretty cool. Anyway, I digress. This game comes with 4 acolytes. What Mike said you could do is basically choose all your creatures and then look at the deck to make sure there's at least two in the deck, and if there's not, make sure you add one. Um, Playing on insane mode, I just don't see how that's like a good idea. So I will randomly choose two from these four, throw them into the deck with 28 new creatures, and then we'll kind of go from there. Then we'll have our own hallowed and et cetera, et cetera. So that's how I've been playing it. Again, I'm going to play on insane mode, which means we'll have 4 summons cards. The base game has 9 summons cards if you have the deluxe edition. This edition only has 6. The base game has 3 finale cards. This edition only has 2. You can mix them all, but again, the balancing of the creatures would be bananas. I mean, I'm sure you could have a game where you threw them all together and you got 30 creatures and it just was like felt super balanced and super fun and super tight. That's great. I think you're just as likely though to have games that just totally fall flat, where you get like 4 vampires and a bandit, and that's just not going to work. It's just you're going to lose too many dice, and this is not going to be very fun. So I think for me, I'm going to treat this the way I treat Too Many Bones when it comes to like the base game of Too Many Bones and Undertow, where I just keep the enemies separate, and I kind of like having that unique separate experience. And then what I'll do is I'll like cross contaminate. It's a really terrible use of that phrase, so I'm going to use it anyway. I will cross contaminate with the different heroes. There's nothing, well, a lot of these heroes you could easily bring back into the base game, and you could bring all the heroes of the base game into Swords of the Coin. There are some of the heroes, like the Heretic, probably would be a bad idea to play him in the base game because he does rely on the items. So that is something to be aware of there. So let me pick 2 of my 4 acolytes here. And the one thing too that's throwing me off is like there are no acolytes. Why are there no acolytes? Of course, all of these are there's an adjective before all the acolytes. So I kept looking for A, then I just kept going through the deck looking for A's, and there were no friggin' A's. And then I was like, oh, okay, they're acolytes. They are just, they don't start with the word acolyte. So I was having a hard time finding them, but that is a me problem. Oh, one thing too, the dice are a big upgrade. They have all the white, uh they colored the inside, the number part of the dice with white, so there's a lot easier to see. So the dice from Swords of the Coin, the dice of Swords of the Coin compared to the base game, huge upgrade where it's really hard to read some of those dice in the base game. So I do appreciate that minor change. It's all about the little things, guys. All right, rolled a 1, so there's an acolyte. I rolled that. That's a 1. There is another acolyte. I'm going to go through this creature deck. We're going to take 28 of these creatures. Hey, Joey, what's up? Hey, Greg, I hope you have your Google Rule FAQs open. And then, Joey, that might be an idea for your next top 10. Greg's 10 worst rule books. And the Swords Vampire are very tame compared to the base game. Oh, yeah. Yeah. The Vampire in the base game is brutal. Yeah, so I actually have not played this much True Solo. True Solo. There is no True Solo. There's 4 characters. I have not played as much solo. It's the same experience. I played with my friend Zach a bunch of times, and we've really enjoyed exploring it. And just kind of come away, just again feeling like that base game just hits the spot a little bit more for me than Swords of the Coin. One thing about Swords of the Coin that really drives me nuts is how the art style the art style for the characters is the same. The characters are awesome. I love the art on the characters. I think they're super cool. I think it's like it's a little generic, but not. It's still different. It's different enough. It's unique. The barbarian art is awesome. The artificer. I mean, they're all just super dynamic looking, crazy characters. But then you get to the art style on the board and the art style for the merchant, and I am just like, I guess the merchant is probably close to the characters. I don't know, man. I just find something about the graphics between that board and this board, just they look really cheesy to me. Like, and again, like one of my complaints in games right now is like we have leaning into this kiddie art. Like that witch looks like it's out of like a kid's witch book. This, like, all of the figures on here just look so kiddie, and it just does not match. And that incongruence in the art style really drives me nuts. You don't have that with the base game at all. So I don't know what was going on there. I don't like it. I just want to put the characters on there at all. It just looks really bad. I think that's supposed to be the barbarian, which is horrendous. That's I don't know, man. It looks really bad. I don't like that at all. I think it's a little jarring how the how different it looks from like this art looks really cool and it's like that. It's like, oh, I have a kid's coloring book in front of me. That's really nice. So anyway, just a minor gripe. I'm going to take 28 cards out of here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Sorry about that. That's correct. We're going to take these two acolytes. We're going to shuffle them into here. I mean, you could use the box in the base game, I guess, but you just want to have the spots showing you where the coins go, which is a nice little visual reminder. The other thing too is like this came with just the 1 fire token, which is probably smarter. The 3 fire tokens is a little bit unnecessary, and I'm sure that this, this added a few cents to production costs and stuff like that if you were having more. So I think that was a smart decision. The 1 fire token is a lot better, and it's really all you need in this game. Agris Becca, hello, sir. Welcome to the land of Settlewatch, where hopefully we can survive our 8 days of journeys to get to the final location and smash some creatures. That is absolutely the goal today. Yeah, the characters are super interesting. I'm really interested to see what they do is the Forgotten Isles. Again, for those who don't know, the Kickstarter campaign, I don't know if it's in late pledge status now. You have Forgotten Isles, and there's like a big box that can fit everything, and there's a campaign expansion on top of that, but you need to have all of it to play through the campaign appropriately. And then that includes like there's this mini expansion called Outriders. So there's a lot of content all in, which is it's pretty cool. This is definitely a game that will be hanging around the collection for a long time for sure. So let me take these 30 cards. I'm going to make it into 4 even piles. So it's going to be 8, 8, 7, 7. So 1, I'll just deal them out this way. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right, worked out well. I'm going to take 4 of these summons cards. Again, the summons cards are also a little bit more muted, I feel like, compared to the base game, but I could be making that up. We're going to take these 4. Those 2 go away. We're adding 1 to each of these 4 decks, and now we're going to build a creature deck from the bottom up. One rule I had wrong, or did I have it wrong before the last time? If you run out of Unhallowed and you have to add one, you lose. So you do have to really manage the amount of Unhallowed still in the Unhallowed deck, which does make the actions that are on the back of the location cards that much more important. So something to be aware of. There's those 7 cards. And then another thing I had wrong, if at any one moment all of the adventurers that are on watch all have their abilities turned over, that does also trigger an auto loss. So you want to be aware of that. My last game on camera was a pretty wild tightrope, but I think I actually triggered an auto loss condition early and just didn't realize it and somehow still survived to the finale. I mean, I find that a weird rule because like if you can vanquish all the monsters and take all the damage and you have someone in camp who doesn't have who has like unwounded abilities or unexhausted abilities, I I look, you're give me a I don't know why you would by design say, "Oh, game has to end," because at that point your whole team is so weak and bruised and battered. I think it's like if you can come back from that and win, I think that's a cool moment that you're taking away from the play experience. Like, and you're just like closing out that possibility. I mean, to be clear, I didn't come especially close in the finale of the last game, but the fact that I survived to there was pretty cool. So it would have been that would have been a pretty cool thing. But again, technically by the rules, that playthrough should have ended about 5 rounds before it actually did. Joey says, I pledged in the Forgotten Isles as well. I think last I read it was supposed to ship in February. Does that sound right? I don't know, man. I really don't know. I got like, I think there's 10 things I have outstanding that I've late pledged or that I've pledged. I just can't even keep track of it all. I mean, what I'm going to get by the end of this year. It's just kind of like a surprise. Oh, shipping now. Like, yay! I just have no idea. No idea at all. One of the summons cards doesn't make you lose an ability. It makes you draw 2 unhallowed, which can be brutal when playing with 4 summons. Ooh, interesting. Interesting. Cool. Alright, this is good. So we have, again, our creature deck of 30. Bam. And we'll see how the rest of this goes. I gotta look up the merchant. I think the merchant starts with 3 items at the beginning of the game, and if you don't buy, you add more. There's some weird rules of the merchant. I guess that is the same. I just don't like the art of the person. Like, there's something weird about all of it to me. But what do I know? What do I know? This goes here. All right. We have to choose one of these as our finale location. So again, there are 2. Neither one, like, they're compared to the base game, there's a lot less diversity among the 3 finale cards there. It's like, I think there's like 9 and 10 or 10 and 10. So they're not awful. 4. So this is going to go at the bottom of our location deck. That finale card comes out of the game. That was a rule I had wrong on my very first playthrough of Set of Watch. I thought they got shuffled into the rest of the location deck. That was wrong. I'm going to shuffle all of these locations. We're taking 8 of them. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, this respite location, bananas. Like, when this location I just play, refresh all the exhausted items. My bad. I think my friend and I read it as exhausted abilities at first time, and then we realized it was items. But I was like, yeah, that's crazy. That would have been way too good to be true. So we have these 8 locations. They're going to go here. But yeah, if you're playing an item-focused game, that could be really helpful for sure. And then we're going to have all these respite locations shuffled into the unused location deck. Do. All right, one more deck to shuffle is going to be the Unhallowed. The Unhallowed, there are 17 Unhallowed with the Swords of the Coin, which is pretty nuts. Which means we're using less than half of them every game, which makes for a lot of variability, even with just playing Swords of the Coin itself. We're going to put one of these face down in the Horde, 7 of them faced up in the Unhallowed deck, and then we're going to have 9 left over. That's correct. So those will just come out of the game. We're going to flip these face up. The top Unhallowed is the Gorgon. First position, the adventurers as a group immediately exhaust a number of ability cards equal to the campfire reveal level. So 1, 2, or 3. So having a lower, I find there are a lot of things in Swords of the Coin, which I think it's interesting that you actually want the fire to be rather low. Like, if you're playing with a witch, it's almost better to have the fire super low because of one of her abilities that negates all abilities of anything that's anything revealed as it enters the first position. So we'll talk about that. Well, we'll talk about that, especially if we have the witch character. So let's I lied, that wasn't the last deck I needed to shuffle. So these are the item cards. I'll put 3 out on top of the merchant, and then we're going to cover his goofy face. Bam. So first item is a strength potion. Discard, choose an adventurer on watch with at least 1 unspent die. Set that die to its maximum value. That's going to cost 2. We have the seal scroll. Not that kind of seal. Discard, search the graveyard for an unhallowed of your choosing and move it to the bottom of the unhallowed deck. Oh, that could be super awesome. And then we have the bolster scroll. Each adventurer may choose to reroll any number of their unspent dice. That costs 2, that costs 3, that costs 3. We're going to choose which of our 4 characters are. So obviously we have 6 potential characters. I rolled a 5, so the first character will be the Barbarian. And we'll just put her over here. She's going to come in with 2 random abilities open and then 1 face down. I'll do the face down one first. I rolled a 2. Our first face down ability is exhaust this ability to defeat 1 creature in a line, then gain +1 range until the end of the round. So the interesting thing about the Barbarian is that her abilities cannot be activated by dice. They have to be exhausted if you're using them. That's a super interesting and weird way to play. But to compensate for that, she does roll d12s. So hopefully you're rolling well, because if you're not, that could be a really brutal game with her. I rolled a 1, so this is going to go here. The ability we have is Rampage, exhaust its ability. Then take the first 3 cards in the line, shuffle them together, and randomly place 1 back in the first position. Move the other 2 to the graveyard in the order of your choosing. And then finally, we rolled a 5. We get Voracious, exhaust its ability to defeat all revealed forest creatures and humans in the line. So obviously we would want to have the fire very far up in order to take full advantage of that. The 2 we did not get are Bloodied, exhausted ability to increase 1 of your dice to its maximum value for each of your exhausted abilities, including this one. And then Stone's Throw, passive for each melee adventure on watch, including Barbarian, you may resolve a single die direct attack with +1 range. Again, she is melee. We can tell that by that symbol up here, over here, and I'll just put the rest of her abilities up there. What's the next man or woman we're gonna have on watch here? I rolled, so it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I rolled a 6, not helpful. I rolled a 6, not helpful. I rolled a 3. We're going to get the Heretic. I don't think I've ever actually played with the Heretic, but I've definitely seen them played through my friend Zach. So Barbarian, again, we have our D12s. The Heretic has 3 D6s. Heretic's abilities, what are we going to get? Rolling a die, I rolled the 2, so this is going to be the exhausted one, the Corpse Pyre. Look at the health of the top creature of the graveyard, then defeat a revealed creature in the line who's with lower or equal health. That will go there, face down. And now we'll actually roll the red dice to get the rest of these. That's a 5, not helpful. That's a 3. We have Commune. Commune or Commune? Probably Commune. Reveal 1 card. If it is a summon, negate it and place it in the graveyard. Wow. Then prevent the next Acolyte reveal ability from triggering. That's really interesting. That's very gambly, but at some point you might actually have a chance to like really know where a summons card's coming out based on some other potential abilities. So that's pretty nuts. I rolled a 6. We're going to take the 5/6 Pact of Doom. Look at the health of the top card of the Unhallowed deck, then defeat a creature with lower or equal health. Shuffle the topmost Unhallowed in the graveyard back into the creature deck. It sounds like a Pact of Doom for sure. So we have Marrowborn, defeat 1 revealed human or goblin creature in the line, then search the graveyard for the top undead creature, tame that creature until the end of the round. That's pretty strong. Again, tame creatures, you can spend them as dice spend them as if they were a die with a value equal to the creature's health. And then we have, but that's only at the end of the round, so we can't store any. And then we have Dread Rot, passive. You may assign 1 of your unspent dice to a revealed creature in the line to set its base health to that die value. That's pretty sick. So you have a really low die. You can basically just make a creature have a health equal to whatever your low die value is, and then kill it with something else. This is also a melee hero. All right, we have 4 things left. I'll actually roll the witch's D4 now. I rolled a 3, so the witch herself is coming in. So we'll put her up here. Explaining the witch is going to be super fun. So we do have a little bit of opposition here between the witch wanting to keep the fire low so she can negate abilities of creatures that enter the first position, and the barbarian wanted to keep that fire super high. The witch has a familiar. Familiar, I think, could be a better developed part of the game and is a little unclear with the rules. A lot of serious rules questions. The witch only rolls D4s, which sounds bananas. But she does this, she basically uses these dice as counters. So I did just play the witch recently, so hopefully a lot of what she does is fresh in my mind. So the cat familiar on one side, the other side is the crow familiar. Once a round, so once when you're again on watch with the witch, you can use your familiar to do an attack on the to just again use it as if it would die with a value 3 or a value 5, so you can actually just do damage as direct attack. However, if you have some abilities where you can actually refresh that, and then you can get more attacks out of your familiar. We didn't, and I'll talk about the camp abilities when we actually go to camp. Remember, all these dudes are going to have to go to camp twice over the course of a game. So I have 5 abilities here. Let me roll one of the heretics dice. I rolled a 4, so we have Hex. negate the next hex die value creature powers that are in first position. That's going to come into play exhausted. That's super strong. We are going to want to unexhaust that pretty quickly for sure. Now, note the witch is going to be limited when she goes to camp because she can never roll a 6 to give us a heal ability. So that's going to be a problem. But essentially, what we're going to use with her dice become counters. So we put that on Hex, and now the next 4 creatures that are in first position, all of their powers are negated. And that gets a little weird to some really weird rules edge cases. But again, I think I got that all sorted out how it's supposed to operate. It was was not easy, but we got there. Again, thanks to Mike for being so active in the BGG forums. Rolling a die again, that's a 4. We have transform. Flip over and refresh your familiar. So if they had attacked, they're going to be refreshed. They can attack again. Then defeat a revealed creature whose base health is less than X die value and your familiar's shield. Now, it gets weird with using the witch's dice because say I have no more dice available, right? But now I want to use transform. What I can do is use a die. Say I had used a die of a hex. I had used a die of a 4 in hex, and by the time we get to the round where I want to use transform, and obviously hex would not have been exhausted at this point, I have this die exhausted. Well, I would reset it to 4, and then I could exhaust transform and use this exhausted die of a 4 to trigger transform. So you kind of have to track what you initially rolled, and just as you use the counters, get back to the original roll, and then that becomes available. So again, there's 2 ways you can use abilities. One is by putting a die in it. One is by flipping it over. Because the witch's abilities require a die, even if you're flipping over, the die that you can use becomes one of the dice that you already used that is now exhausted. So it gets, again, there's a lot of weird rules stuff with the witch. I think some of the stuff that I find interesting too is that you're giving me these characters. Like, I wish, like, you have the whole back, and I understand they did the quick reference stuff on the back of these things. I wish they actually went ahead and like put rules for how the characters work, so you're not going through this like rule book. And I mean, or just like help cards. You've given me the cat familiar. Like, there's something to like explain how characters are supposed to work. I think they tried to put all that in the rulebook, and I just don't think that's the best and most user friendly way to play it. I think a little bit like a reminder card or something, because you've really upped the degree of asymmetry of these characters. I think it would be nice to have a bit of a reminder like on the character themselves. But again, maybe that's just me. All right, we're rolling a die again, rolling a d6. I rolled a 5, so we get Premonition. Peek at X die value creatures. Defeat one whose health is equal to or lower than the sum of your total die results. So again, my total die results could be a 3. So that Premonition is probably not the strongest card for sure. What I didn't get is Omen. Peek at the top X die value cards from the creature deck. Swap one of them with an unrevealed creature in the line, and then Blood Ritual. Defeat the creature in X die value position. That is indeed something I want to do. So I really need to heal Hex, and I want to switch Blood Ritual. And Premonition is pretty much how that's going to go. I will start with the Cat Familiar. So there's a passive ability. The cat can attack revealed creatures in the first position. When the cat attacks, you may peek at the top card of the creature deck. And again, that attack is only once a round unless it's refreshed by transform. And at that point, it become over. And now the crow is only attacking with a 3. The crow has a passive ability. The crow can attack revealed creatures in first or second position, because it has like a little bit of a range to it. The cat has to be first position, despite the fact that the witch is a ranged hero. The crow can attack creature first or second position. When the crow attacks, you may peek at the top 2 cards of the creature deck. So we get a little bit of a sneak peek as to what is coming up. And then finally, we get the monk, the bounty hunter, and the artificer. Who are we going to get, kids? I rolled a 3. We have the hunter. I would have preferred the monk or the artificer, not going to lie. So, well, it'll be fun. Again, you are supposed to choose. I like keeping it random because, whatever. I guess the artificer's also ranged. The hunter being ranged can be nice, and he is rolling d8s, so I can't complain too much about that. But he takes a little bit of setup. The witch and the hunter both take a little bit of setup and to get fully effective. So we're gonna have to kind of work through all of that. So the hunter's abilities, the bounty hunter, I should say, he's gonna feel a lot like the Beastmaster, but he's very, very different mechanics. The Beastmaster, you would tame forest creatures so you can use them for dice values. The hunter doesn't do a whole lot of that. You actually, when you kill something through a direct attack, you take part of the direct attack, you can take it as a trophy. Your trophy limit is 3. Again, why are you putting important information on a place that's going to get covered up the entire game? I have so many thoughts. Not the greatest choice there, but that's mine. But once you hold on to your trophies, you can use your trophies for certain abilities that are triggered by, for certain things that are triggered by your ability cards, right? So one of these is going to come in exhausted. I'm rolling a d6. So we have number 3, trophy swap. Choose one of your trophies and swap it with a creature in the line, negating its reveal power, then gain a coin. Not a huge fan of that. By the way, coins are all gained collectively. Coins will go on the bottom down here, and then we can use them to buy something from the merchant. I think in the merchant phase, are we limited to 2, or is it unlimited buys? I know if you don't buy one gets added. Da, 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 you refresh after, so I guess you're just, there's no purchase limit, but other than how many items are there, but you're never going to have that much money. There are 4 cards left. That's a 6. That's a 4. Exploit. Defeat a revealed creature in a line whose type matches one of your trophy types. Exploit's really strong. So once we have trophies, again, we don't have to discard the trophy. Once we have trophies, we can just defeat it. Now, we wouldn't add the defeated creature as a trophy because it's not a direct attack. Only by direct attacks do we get more trophies. And then I'm rolling this one. I rolled a 2. We have Release the Beast. Choose one of your trophies and place it face up at the end of the line. Defeat up to 3 revealed creatures, each with health equal to or lower than the base health of the trophy you just placed. Again, something else I don't really love. Exploit I like a lot. Trophy swap, yeah, probably not doing that. So probably going to want to sub out their things as well. We have track them down, reveal up to 2 creatures. If either creature type matches one of your trophies, then set your unspent dice to their maximum value. Really don't like that ability. And the expertise passive, when resolving a direct attack, double the value of your dice against any creature type in your trophy collection, then discard that trophy. Expertise could be really, really nice. So I do want to sub out one of the hunter's abilities. That is that. So a lot of talking. Sorry about that. Commune could work well with the Witch's Peak ability. Oh, that's pretty strong. Good call, Joey. Yeah, I hadn't seen that before. Cool. Cool. I dig. So we'll see. It's gonna be interesting. Should be an interesting game, if nothing else. We are going to go to round 1. Everything else is set up. We have placed a coin on 5 locations in camp that are indicated by that symbol. If a die is not placed on any of those locations, the coins can start to stack, right? We actually, one more thing we need to set up. Starting fire, I do roll a d6 instead of just placing it at the 7. I rolled a 5. That is one of the times I generally find that I roll well for some reason. So the fire is at a 5. That means we'll be seeing 1 creature in the line. Remember, Hex is covered up, so I'm not going to be that worried about keeping the fire artificially low. At this start, out of the 2 I didn't get, the Artificer has a thing where his abilities start giving him charges, and then once a round he can spend charges to kill the creature, but then his charges go down by half, rounded up. So he's pretty cool. And then the monk starts with 3 d6s, but he can turn, when he goes to camp, he can turn 2 of those d6s into d8s, or he can turn 1 of those d6s into a d10. But essentially, once he goes to camp twice, you can ultimately end up with a d6 and 2 d10s, which is really nice, or you can end up with 2 d8s and a d10. So his dice get better as the thing goes by and as the game goes on, and I think that's pretty cool. But again, he is only melee, so he's a little bit limited by that. So we have Christmas over here with the green and the red, and then we have, I don't know, whatever holiday is purple and blue. That's fine. That's what holiday we have going on over there. Oh, 4 different colors. It's so nice. So rolling these dice, do I get a 6 anywhere? I do. It's the Barbarian. Probably not who I want to have to go to camp early, so we'll see. But we have a 6, a 7, and an 11. The witch rolled really terribly with a 1, a 1, and a 3. So she's going to be pretty useless. We have a 1, a 2, and a 4 over here. And we have a 1, a 3, and an 8 over here. I think I send the witch. Woof. The witch's magic ability is choose an adventurer, rest one of their ability cards, then either add the top card of the creature deck to the horde or draw an additional creature from the creature deck and add it to the line during the watch phase. Oh, I should have revealed the first thing. I'm about to sneeze. Woo! That was exhilarating. That was a big sneeze. All right. She did roll doubles, which means I could activate the bolster, the seal, or the vanquish ability. I always get these a little messed up in my head at the start of a game. So seal, I can remove one hallowed from the graveyard and place it at the bottom of the unhallowed deck. Can be really strong, but again, we would need unhallowed in the graveyard for that to trigger. Vanquish, remove the top card of the horde from the game, and bolster, re-roll some dice. All right. So I think the witch is staying back. I think I'm committed to that because that's the only way I'm going to really refresh an ability. I don't want the barbarian. I don't want to lose her D11 or her D7 for that matter. Hunter can go. He can start building up his bounties. I can get Hex healed up. Great. So the witch is going to stay at camp. Oh, the first location we're traveling to has 8 enemies. We ignore the modifier, the -1, but after adventurers roll dice, each adventurer must select one of their dice and set it to a number of locations in the location discard if able. Woof. And the locations discard, that's also not defined anywhere in the rules. Again, rules aren't great. So that's so after rolling dice, we all have to set our dice to 1. Does that matter if I already have a 1? Again, the rules. I assume that if it's already a 1, I still have to do another one, is how I would read that. So Fog of Memory's pretty garbage. Woof. What is it? Top creature from the deck to the horde. Yeah, I think that's a bad first location, kids. So I get a 1 over here. The 6 becomes a 1, which is especially bad for the barbarian because remember she's not using dice to activate abilities. This 3 becomes a 1, and then the witch gets another 1, which I don't care about her having all 1s. But yeah, I would assume that I have to set it. Must select one of theirs and set it to 1. Yeah, that's a bad early thing. Hello, game. Hold on one sec. Must be allergic to that witch's cat. That's a terrible starting card. Yeah, it's pretty bad. I think it would be better if it was worded like one of the dice must be a 1, because if you already rolled ones, it's not a big deal. I also wonder why, if you're letting me ignore the fire modifier, why am I not ignoring the abilities on the card as well? There's some serious balancing issues with that first location. It's almost like if you give me a final location, like you should have like a small deck of starter locations too, because it's almost like why you don't have an event in the first round of Spirit Island, like because it could just really set the tone for the game in a way that's not great. I mean, and one of the things like I'm fascinated by the balancing of this particular card. Normally, if you have an ability that's that bad, the creatures in line, you're only going to have like a 6. You're making me do 8 creatures and I have to set all my dice to a 1. That's like a really bad 1-2 punch. So if this goes really bad, like terribly terrible, then terribly terrible, then I will just reset this and we'll just do round 1 again. It is what it is. Brian says everyone in PA is either coughing, sneezing, or both. Spring in New England. Yep. So for those in New England is like the northeastern portion of the United States. For those who don't know, but I guess if you're a football fan of all of American football, or like, yeah, like, um, the, that's where I guess you'll know that from the Patriots. All right. Woo! Let's figure out what I want to do now. So I'm gonna definitely chop wood. Since I chop wood and there's fire, there's a coin there. We're gonna add this to our supply, and we're gonna get this up to 7. I do want to. Oh, she immediately heals Hex, which is super nice. And then I'm gonna do a equip action. So we're gonna get this coin as well. I mean, that strength potion is looking good. I mean, get this up to a 12. It's a little nuts. It's spending a lot of money early, but I think I'm gonna be hurting with 8 creatures here, and I'm gonna get rid of premonition, and I'm gonna take blood ritual. I think that's too strong. And then with my last die, these have to be consecutive order. With my last die, I will do dark magic. We're gonna refresh the ability card of not trophy swap. I'm gonna refresh the ability of leap. And I'm gonna not draw 9 creatures. That's insane. I'm just gonna add add the top card of the creature deck to the horde. I don't know what it is, but that's fine. I think that's the best case scenario with the witch. It does make sense since the witch can't roll a 6. At least she has an ability to heal one of the other dudes, but it's going to be at the cost of uh, of obviously adding to the horde. Again, whatever's in the horde, we have to face in the finale location. So good job by the witch. We're now going to go to the merchant phase. I'm going to spend my 2 coins. I can give this to any one of the heroes. I'm going to give it to the barbarian. So again, this has a discard ability. Choose an adventure on watch with at least 1 unspent die. Set that die to its highest value. And then at the end of the merchant phase, we refresh any empty spots. If we hadn't bought anything, instead we would just add 1 on top of one of the piles that already has some. And this is a vanquish scroll. Remove the top card from the horde from the game. Not the most helpful. Again, I still really like the seal scroll. So we have scroll. There are things other than scrolls. As such, there are potions. So let's now go to watch. So we're going to set our line. We have the barbarian on watch, the heretic on watch, and the bounty hunter on watch. Bounty hunter's coming in with a big bad 118. That's not great. So he's going to need to get a trophy quick with that 8, hopefully. So 8 creatures coming along the bottom of this screen here. So that's the middle. That's 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. My fire is 2, so I can reveal the first 2. Hopefully it's not an awful first position. It's a summon card. Oh, that was great. It's so good. Alright, summon. Choose one adventurer to immediately stun one of their ability cards. Then discard this card to the top of the graveyard and replace with the top card for the holodeck. I absolutely forget what stun does. I just remember finding it annoying. But better than exhausting, I guess. Stun ability is a creature power that causes adventurers on watch to spend X dice on. Oh, so I have to spend a die on ability cards with activating their effects. Only abilities that have activated by a die can be stunned, and so I can't stun the barbarian. If the adventurer has no unspent, barbarian is immune to stun. If the ability is stunned, it can still be activated by exhausting the card that round. Great. I'm going to use one of these ones, and I'm going to stun the release the beast because I don't think that is a thing I'm going to be. Can I do the Pact of Doom even if there isn't, even if there isn't an Unhallowed in the graveyard deck? Oh, so many questions. I think I can. So the Heretic Pact of Doom, not too long ago, and then they had the FAQs like separate from the description of these goods, which is also annoying. Bounty Hunter FAQ. How many? Nope. Heretic FAQ. Which FAQ? Barbarian FAQ. Is there no Heretic FAQ? That's crazy. Bard FAQ. Well, I'm not playing with the Bard. I think I can. Yeah, I think I can do the Pact of Doom even if I don't have an Unhallowed in the graveyard, which I might have a Hallowed in the graveyard pretty quick, so, don't worry about that. Oh, dear God. And then I'm going to get the Gorgon. This is really bad. I think we're about to restart, kids, because this is the worst. This is a very bad sequence. Okay. Well, I stunned that card. The Gorgon comes in. First position ability. The adventurers as a group immediately exhaust the number of ability cards equal to the campfire reveal level. The campfire reveal level is 2. So I will exhaust release the beast. It was only previously stunned. The witch is not on watch, so I cannot exhaust her ability. I definitely don't want to exhaust exploit. And I'm not really sure I want to do this Pact of Doom thing. The commune is probably not going to be all that useful this round anyway, because again, unlikely to get another summons card because I already got one summon card at the top of the deck. Remember, there was one summon card in the top 9 cards because I had 8 cards and I shuffled in a summon card. I did take one card off to use the witch's ability, so there is a chance, I think, because that would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There's a chance that's a summon card, not high chance. It's like a 1 in 9 probability, assuming perfect shuffling, which obviously I did not have. All right, so that was fun. I stunned a card, exhausted 2, and haven't done anything useful yet. The Enchanted Golem. The Enchanted Golem's health is increased by the total number of items equipped by adventurers on watch, and that is an ongoing ability. All right, I'm going to use the Strengthen Potion to get rid of, get rid of the Enchanted Potion to make this a 12. And now that is just discarded from the game. I Unhallowed. Melee. We have Leap. Do I want to give her range? Probably not. I think I could take the Unhallowed as trophies with the Bounty Hunter. Not sure I want to do that. Again, there's not that many Unhallowed in play, so taking a Golem is probably better, and I could just do that with the D8 there. That's now exhausted. Woof. It's been a great, fantastic start, kids. Could exhaust Leap, and that gives me range for the rest of the round. I don't hate that. I'm probably not going to use Rampage or Voracious this round, so all right, we're going to exhaust Leap. I'm going to defeat the Gorgon. That goes in the graveyard. And now, oh, so let me reveal a card. Maybe I don't. Maybe I exhaust Pact of Doom because I don't want. Yeah, I really don't want the Gorgon to be added to the deck. Or if I do this before I defeat the Gorgon, this probably makes sense. Assuming I can use Pact of Doom even when there's no Unhallowed in the discard pile, which I think I can use the 1 to Pact of Doom. That is 8 health. And then I can defeat a creature with lower equal health. I'm going to defeat the enchanted Golem. And then I shuffle an Unhallowed in the graveyard back into the creature deck. There are no Unhallowed in the graveyard, so I'm good there. This is the Dream Master, by the way. First position, the Adventurer in camp immediately exhausts one of their ability cards. That's actually not as punishing because at least it's the Adventurer in camp. All right, now I reveal this because of the fire level. It's the Scarecrow. Ongoing, each adventurer resolving a direct attack at the Scarecrow must use their highest available die, which is super gross because it's a freaking 5, and that's not great. Because just the numbers are not working out well. But now I'm going to use the leap. We destroy the Gorgon, whatever. And then this reveals it's the vampire. Reveal to steal the highest available die and add it to the value of the vampire's health. I lose the 12. His health is now 16. That's super awesome. I can't even explain to you how bad this is going. Yeah, I'm about to start over because I just lost my D12. I can rampage and hope the vampire is not first. Wow. I've already had one golem. Having a second's unlikely. I'm going to do rampage. So exhausting another one of my abilities. I'm taking the first 3 creatures in line, shuffling them together, and randomly placing one back at the first position. Now I assume the Scarecrow still has, or the whatever the vampire still has this 12 on it. It's not entirely clear, but I get to shuffle together, randomly place one back at the first position, and move the other 2 into the graveyard in the order of my choosing. I really don't have much of a choice here. I'm going to roll the D6. I roll the 5. It's the vampire. All right, game over. I'm starting over. Because I think if that 12's there, now he also has the 11, so now he has 27 health. What a absolute garbage. Absolute garbage sequence that was. That's crazy. It's been one of those weeks around solo playthroughs. If you watch my Nemo's World playthrough and then this, it's just like, really? And I've been learning Dwellings of Eldervale and talk about games that are not clicking for me. Yeah, Dwellings is high on the list. So, resetting all of this because that was terrible. And yeah, I guess we'll reset the Unhallowed deck as well. Woo! Summon. I'm not gonna rebuild the monster deck. I'm just gonna reorganize it, and I'm not gonna redo the things here. So Hex was out of play. No, Hex was injured, and this was out of play. We had Premonition, I think. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There should be another Unhallowed somewhere. Did I only have? I might have only had 6 in that pile accidentally. Yeah, we're definitely redoing the locations because, dear God, that location was brutal. I'll keep the final location, but I have to get rid of the respite locations from here. And we'll redo the, we'll get the coin. Oh, I should have added a coin to each location I didn't use, but obviously we're resetting it, so who cares? 1, 2. This will go here. I'm not mad. You're mad. uh, that's fine. Did I literally only have? What are those? Those should be acolytes. These should be unhallowed. 1, 2. Nope. Those are not unhallowed. These should be unhallowed. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I don't know. How am I missing an unhallowed? Oh, it's still on the bottom here. Sorry, I didn't see it. All right, this goes here, shuffling up the unhalloweds, and resetting this thing. Woo! All right. Rip says Edgar's. Joey says, "Also a great start. Yeah, best start ever. Heretic is so easy that didn't add FAQ. Sad just well by him late again. How are we doing, chat? Yeah, you can take unhallowed as a bounty. Cool. Edgar says, well, he pulled summon on the first card. Yeah. Sag says, oh, so luck is on our side. Yeah, dude. Sag, that was definitely a playthrough that you would have loved. Edgar's, yeah, you can. Joey says, I don't believe there are any manticores in this game, Sag, but there is a scout ability. Sag just says, my infamy precedes me. Restart on solo playthroughs. That has never happened before. Joey says I would just restart. With that starting card summon first unhallowed, you will have to exhaust damn near all your abilities to even have a chance, and you'll just be playing catch up. Dwelling is not clicking. Huh, interesting. I have been having fun with that one. Yeah, man. I don't know, man. Something just doesn't feel. I mean, I like Dwelling's more competitive. The solo games, and I don't even like it that much competitive. I just feel like there are games that do what Dwellings does that I just would vastly prefer to play. Um, like the area control plus the combat. I find the risk combat system to be woof. We've all seen me roll dice, so that's the thing. I just find that deck of magic cards to be radically like swingy in a way I just don't love. And when you're combining the swinging, actually, I'll just do the. I don't even know I don't know anything about a finale card, so I'm just gonna leave that one. When you combine the swinginess of that deck of cards and the swinginess of the dice, the reality is like I also just don't find the solo game that challenging. I feel like you're gonna win more often than not because you're seeing what they could possibly do, and you could really starve them from building dwellings. And if you're doing it that way, it's like the only way you lose is if you get absurdly unlucky in dice rolls, and that's fine, I guess. I just don't find it as a very. I don't know, man. I know people really love that game, so I'm still trying to give it another shot. But I mean, I got a patron challenge with it, so it's going to be on the channel probably next week. But I think that's going to be a one and done for me, pretty hard. Um, there are things about it I like. The production obviously is hard to hate on, but yeah, it's definitely just not a Greg game for long term. So, which is fine. I'm borrowing my friend's copy, and I talked about buying it from him because he was pretty ready to move on from it. And so the more I played it, the more I'm like, yeah, dude, it's just not a game I want long term. For me, like if I'm gonna have a game where I'm doing battles and like there's some card play and I'm moving up tracks, like Chaos Order isn't a solo game. But again, I think one of the things dwellings again makes me question again is like I don't think every game needs a solo mode, right? I don't think the solo mode in dwellings is people really love the game. Fine, I mean, I guess I'm glad it exists for them, but for me, like I would just if I'm gonna play that game, I'd rather play it competitively. Um, Whereas a Chaos Order, I went out and bought Chaos Order. It doesn't have a solo mode, but I know I'm going to get it to the table, and I just find that a much more rewarding experience um, with less utter randomness that Dwellings has. So taking out 2 of these summons cards, there's one. I don't know why I'm rolling a die for this, but I'm going to do it. So there are the 4 summons cards we're going to have. I left the final finale location. These should be the 17 unhallowed. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Sadge says, are you playing solo or multi-handed? I would say not a love, but a like a lot. I played 5 or 6 games multi-handed, and like I've honestly won that game against my friends more than I've lost. I think I've played 5 games and I've won 3 times. I don't like it. Um, I don't like some things that it does, and the expansions are like that the dragon mother and like the frost giant. It's like the more random crap I add to the game, the less I like it. So I don't know, but I do again. I'll have a playthrough on next week, patron challenge, and I'm happy to explore it. I know now like that game is going back to my friend Charlie sooner than I would have guessed earlier. I was thinking I would probably do 2 or 3 playthroughs of it before I get to the patron challenge. Like nah, we're just getting the patron challenge done and getting it moving on. But I mean it'll be fun. Like it's just not long term fun for me. But that goes there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I mean, I have 2 friends that backed Andromeda's Edge because they love dwelling so much. So that will be an interesting game to play for sure. All right, the collector is first. First position, the adventurers as a group must discard their most expensive item. Ongoing items cannot be used. Interesting. So that's in fact when they're in play. Here are my summons cards. Here are the. Do I want to rebuild the whole? Do I really want to rebuild the whole creature deck? Yeah, why not? Why not? Go all the way, Greg. Just make it happen. So, oh, I already rebuilt the summons cards. Where the heck are the unhallowed cards? These are the unhallowed cards. Where are the unhallowed? That's an acolyte. That's an acolyte. Ooh, the acolytes are back to back. That's super interesting. So that's just interesting. I enjoy its randomness. Hey, you are allowed to dislike a game every once in a while. Did I tell you? I told you I sold Imperium, right? I was thinking about getting it back to the channel, and I was like, I can't, dude. It's just not a keeper for me. Yeah, I'm not gonna redo the abilities. That just takes too long. I'll just reset all the other decks, and I frankly, I don't love the ability setup as it is. So, I do like having that little bit of a challenge. I think getting Barbarian her passive ability out is going to be important, but maybe not. For each melee adventure on watch, including Barbarian, you may resolve a single die at direct attack with a +1 range. Yeah, it's probably not great. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm telling you what, if we have another day one like the last one, that's it, dude. We're calling it. I'm driving to Boston tonight. I don't got time to do this again. So, bam. Bam. All right. There we go. There's our acolytes. We'll shuffle them into these 28 cards. Also, with the amount of games out there, why would you just not skip something that is kind of okay? Yeah, and it's a funny thing is like I wouldn't even, I hesitate to even call, um, again, Purium or dwellings like kind of okay. Like it's again, it's just I understand like, and I know Sajid. I think what you probably meant this too. So I'm not trying to edit you, but it's like yeah, kind of okay for me, right? Because I know why people love those games. Like I could see enough in there, but I just know it just doesn't click. Um, for what I prefer, for sure. But if I have a few more playthroughs of Set of Watts like the last one, maybe that will move down the list. Unbelievable. That was such a really bizarre turn of events. Very early. All right, 1, 2. That is a very rare game of Set of Watch. 4, 4, 4, 4, 5, 5, 5, 5, 6, 6, 6, 6, 7, 7, 7, 7, 8, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4. Too bad for a parent, but I could see that in your plays. It wasn't really enticing you like some other stuff. To be fair, I played like 6 different times. I'm not yearning to play it more. Not yet. Yeah. And I think it's, I got off to such a like a on a bad foot with it, like with the production issues that like, you know, I was not primed to love it. I was so It's just I find it, for a publisher to release that game with that production in that way, it's just embarrassing, dude. Like, come on. Get your crap together, dude. Like, you're an established publisher. You have to be better with games. I mean, it makes me so reluctant to buy an Osprey game ever again. Um, it's because if that's what they think that's fine. Like, ugh, dude, that was horrible. It's really, really bad. All right, this goes here. So I know they're releasing what 8 more factions for Imperium. So I know a bunch of people are excited about that. A bunch of people who are not me. Yeah, I never even. There were so many of the factions I never even played. Like the Atlanteans, I played. What I played the. Yeah, I never got around to the faction that was kind of, the I guess like a Chinese faction like that looked really interesting. It just never did the never got around to the Utopians. It was just like, all right, I was really just done with that game. Just did not have the time to want to explore it. Which again, in contrast, like Nemo's War is a game I'm probably going to sell at some point, but I still want to play through all the other motivations. I probably won't do all of them on the channel. What I think I'm going to do with Nemo's War is play through the other motivations like off camera, and then just choose one, get one more playthrough on, and then probably sell it. Because like Nemo's War, there's a game in Nemo's War I really like the gameplay. I just hate the unmitigated swinginess of the scoring system. Whereas Imperium, I wasn't really even that attracted to the gameplay. I just found it just kind of meh for what I'm looking for. All right, that goes there. We have to reset this. Oh, so much. This is not an easy game to reset. And that does matter to me. Same with dwellings, man. Like when you reset dwellings, like it's such a pain in the ass. Woof. I feel like I could reset Mage Knight quicker than I could reset a lot of games, but that could just be like I'm so used to that game that I could just do it really quick. All right, here we go. Items. We have the Lucky Charm. Passive, once per round in camp or on watch, you may reroll any number of your unspent dice. That's super nice. The Garlic Necklace. Discard, defeat a vampire in the line. That's super nice. And then the Sky Glass. Passive, once per watch, you may peek at a creature in the line and increase all of your unspent dice by that creature's damage. Again, damage amount is the number in the top left. That's fairly strong. Yeah, I like the Garlic Necklace a lot, especially if you're losing a die. The ability to just turn around and just wipe the thing out is super nice. But again, that is a discard. So obviously the passive abilities cost more because they have stronger effects because you can use them multiple times over the course of the game. So there are the respite locations. They're going to shuffle these locations together. We need 8 new ones. Give you a personal example. Set a watch for me was exactly the way you describe it. Dwellings, annoying randomness, not enough meaningful choices. Basically 70% dice luck. Interesting. Yeah, that's funny. Like I just feel I experienced it so different. It was not horrible. It just had issues. I'm assuming you're talking about Imperium. Oh, dude, if that's not horrible, that I don't know what is, dude. Like I that insert. I mean, oh, so many things, dude. That production was it drove me bananas. I mean, oh yeah. Utopians need to give it 30 games. Trust me, funny. Tony says just dropping in between meetings is a reset for a loss. Yeah, we can neither confirm nor deny. Yeah, dude, we made it through one round, Tony. It was super special. Yeah, we might not be playing Set of Watch this weekend. I might need to take some time. Tony, haha, hey, Sagitt, how the Manticores? They almost decked me last time I was playing Mage Knight. Took 2 swings, but got through. Says Sagitt or the Scouts. Man, those the magical little Scouts. 1, 2. They didn't help me as much as I had hoped, Sagitt. I took them just for you in my playthrough. And then, yeah, something got really wonky in my my 3rd round. That was unfortunate. So these are my 8 locations. They go on top of the finale. And then we're going to shuffle the respite locations into the location deck and then put them in the unused location spot in the box. Wow, that was crazy. I'm still like, I've never had a game of Set of Watch evolve that quick. It was unreal. It was absolutely unreal. Woo! All right. Super fun. So everything's set. We're finally there. We're gonna flip the top location thing over. What do we have? It's the living house. I can ignore that. During the watch phase, one adventurer may defeat one revealed creature. When this happens, minus X, where X is equal to the creature's damage. That's an aider. That's a lot stronger. That location is horrible. Because again, it's like if you're gonna do something that brutal by making all my dice become ones, like don't make me also have 8 creatures. Like that's just really bad. Like I don't know, dude. I'm very confused. I'm very confused. So we have to roll a die to figure starting fire level. It's a 6. Again, I roll really good there. So like one time I'll say that. I'm going to roll all these dice, and that's what we got. So better roll than last time. 2, 5, well, at least for the heretic. We'll see the rest. 2, 6, 10 for Barb over here. Ooh, could be a good time to send her into camp. We have a 2, 2, 5 for the hunter. That's pretty garbage. And a 1, 4, 4 for the witch. That witch, but the fact that she doesn't have her hex isn't great, because if she had her hex back, well, I could heal the hex with a 4. I don't hate that. Barb with the 6 is feeling good to me. Primal Might, choose one of your unexhausted ability cards and resolve an equip action with it. Then refresh the just equipped ability. It'd be wasting a heal for her if I sent her in. It's not great. Not great at all. I could send the hunter in. Gotta delay him getting going. Could put the heretic in, but he's not gonna heal anybody else, which is the problem. Collect bounty doesn't make sense. Seal, search out of the graveyard of the creature deck for an unhallowed card. Like sealing with the heretic doesn't make sense. You really want to use these special abilities. I think I'm wasting the witch's very strong roll. I don't really want to do a reroll. I could check the map with the witch. It's a really good roll, dude. Well, it is what it is. Alright, witch is going back to camp. Here's a 1. She's gonna heal Hex. Just naturally. She's gonna do an equip action. Getting rid of Premonition. Getting Blood Ritual. That's fine. We're going to do Dark Magic. Barbarian getting her thing back. Yes, this should look familiar. We will add the top creature of the deck to the horde. And then with the 4, I think I checked the map. I'm not that concerned about Firewood, although those first position things can be really nasty. No, I guess I'd chop Firewood. It's just silly not to. So another money. This goes up to 8. That way, again, first position abilities can be really gross. We want to make sure we're eliminating those. In the merchant phase, we're going to buy the garlic necklace. We will give it to the heretic. Seems thematically appropriate. We have $1 left. This comes off as the Helm of Prophecy. Exhaust, cancel a creature's reveal power that just triggered. That's freaking awesome. It's an exhaust ability. That's definitely something we are going to want to get. So we definitely want lots of money, because the Lucky Charm and the Helm of Prophecy are really good. So we are going to put out our line. Our line is 8 again. Remember, we can always kill a creature and then we just lose. Ideally, we reveal a creature with high health but only 1 damage, so we don't lose our ability to see from a fire standpoint. Hopefully we get the summon card right on top of the deck again, because that'd be super awesome. Ouch, brutal. Nah, I'll roll half the dice and we could do better. This is Tony. It's not terrible. I mean, it's pretty bad. Brutal or not, I have had multiple 1 or 2 round games of I'm never winning this set of watch. Really? I don't know. That's not been my primary experience. Maybe I'm just feeling lucky my first few plays. All right, let's make this happen. So it's dude, you can't make this crap up. That's amazing. The Horde Drake. First position, exhaust 2 abilities. That's really bad, man. That is really bad. And then the Scarecrow. Each adventurer is offering a direct attack. The Scarecrow must use their highest die available. Well, that's not a problem. I'm gonna discard, release the beast. Oof. Okay, and I'm going to exhaust. The Barbarian having 2 exhausted abilities isn't terrible. Probably not doing Rampage. Forest creatures and humans. I'll do Rampage with her. All right. The joys. Probably want. I'm gonna use Leap at some point. He's melee. He's melee. He's ranged. So I'm going to use the highest available die. Again, direct range only affects direct attacks. You have to use your highest available. You have to use your. You can only attack if you have range. You can use abilities against any revealed creature, or unrevealed creature in the case of some abilities. If you're using a direct attack, it has to be in position 1 or 2. If it's ranged, and if you're doing a melee attack, it has to be position 1 unless you have something that augments it, like Leap augments this over here. My highest die from the Hunter. Gives a Scarecrow. That's going to be my first bounty, so I'm going to keep that over here. And then this is going to collapse, and we're going to reveal our second creature because our thing is still there. The Frost Worm. If he gets to the first position, we will have minus X to fire, and where X is the number of exhausted abilities of adventurers currently on watch. That is 4, so that's not a thing that I want to happen. So we're going to have to kill said dragon. Wolf. I will do. Well, I'm going to exhaust Leap to kill the Frostworm because, again, now I get +1 range for the rest until the end of the round, which is super, super helpful. It's kind of a waste of Leap on only 8 health, but again, that first position ability is pretty gnarly. So that guy goes away. It goes here. He's over there as a bounty. So we're going to collapse the line. We're going to reveal the thing. What do we get? It is the Clockwork Soldier. Ongoing with direct attacking. This creature, adventurers must decrease the value of all their unspent dice by 1 if able before damaging the creature. And that's before damaging the creature. So the Clockwork Soldier, one thing that's interesting about them is that it's written poorly. It is clarified that it's only adventurers that are actually attacking them. So must direct attack this creature. Adventurers must increase their value of all their unspent dice by 1 before damaging. So I assume that includes the die that you are using to attack it. Now, what I'm going to do is use Exploit, defeat a revealed creature in the line whose type matches one of my trophies. My trophy is a Golem. That's a Golem. That dude is absolutely destroyed. So again, that was a 2, but I wasn't direct attacking, so I don't have to mess with my other things, but only have 1 die left over here as the bounty hunter. The heretic is still full, the barbarian is still full, and the barbarian has +1 range. These shift over, this flips over, It is the Seal Breaker Acolyte. Reveal. Choose one. Either the adventurers as a group spend 2 dice to the same value, or place the top unhallowed behind Sealbreaker in the Acolyte line. Great. We're going to spend 2 twos, and you're just going to spend those, and that's no harm, no foul. This is a human. I do have +1 range. I could defeat it with that 6, because again, she has ranged direct attacks now because we already used the leap ability. I could also exhaust Voracious, but if I can get by without exhausting another die, that'd be fine. But remember, I still have to come up with 12 for the Horde Dragon. And I have this 10 and the 2. If I use the 6 here, this might be my last chance to defeat a human. There is no unhallowed in the graveyard, so I could use Pact of Doom. I could use Summon to Commune too, because I mean I am getting close to, like, a summon card has to be in the top 9 cards, right? So we have 9 cards, including the one that went there. So the summon is one of these 3 cards or that. So at some point I think I use Pact of Doom, then defeat a creature with a lower. Shuffle the Tomless Unhallowed in the graveyard back to the creature deck. Prevent the next Acolyte ability from triggering. So the Acolyte thing is already. Oh, there's one more Acolyte in this creature deck. We're probably not getting another Acolyte. So I wanted to gate that. That's. Items can't be used. We haven't had a Vampire yet. I could lose that 10 too soon, so I don't want to use that. So let me actually kill the dragon with this 10 and this 2 in case I get a Vampire. And since this die was part of this as a direct attack, he now also has a dragon as one of his 3 bounties. We have 4 more cards. I have a 6/5/5. We'll see what this is. It is a summon card. Oh my god. Hilarious. Oh, when I defeat the dragon, I get 2 coins, and they'll just go into my coin supply. And in fact, I can just flip this 1-er into a 3-er and keep things a little neater. All right, choose one adventure to immediately exhaust one of their ability cards. Then discard this at the top of the graveyard, replace with the top card on the Hallow deck. I really wish I used Commune, but you know, math. I'm gonna exhaust Commune. This is gonna go into the graveyard, and then we get the Collector here. If it gets the first position, we got problems. It's an Unhallowed. I'm going to have to discard my necklace, which I prefer not. But I do not have. I think that makes sense. I'm going to use this 5 to activate the Collector. This has 10 health on the top of the Hallow deck. I'm going to defeat a creature with equal or lower health. I'm defeating the Collector, so it doesn't get the first position. And then I shuffle the Unhallowed, the topmost Unhallowed in the graveyard back to the creature deck. So I basically just shuffled the Collector into the deck. But that's really going to mess up the deck, right? The summons are scattered in a certain order. Now the summons are going to be in no particular order whatsoever. So it's going to make them a bit less predictable. Definitely wish I used that Commune ability. But again, it would have been, you know, 75, only a 25% chance of that being the correct thing. So I was trying to make the math a little bit better. And then, you know, if I got a 50-50 shot, I think it's worth it. But 75% seemed a little bit bizarre. One of my problems right now is if a vampire is revealed, I'm going to lose my 6, but then I could just discard this to defeat the vampire anyway. I have already exhausted 6 abilities. This is looking precarious. So hopefully we don't get a vampire, because that could be super bad and we'd be in trouble. Woof. I have Pact of Doom. Voracious can destroy the human. I do have Exploit, so if I get a dragon or a golem, I can exhaust that. But again, I'm going to have basically everyone on watch. I'll be playing catch up again, as Joey was talking about earlier. We're revealing a second one. It's a giant. Ongoing. His health is increased by the number of locations and location discard piles, so he has 10 health. Woof. Well, I still can't use that 5. I could exhaust Pact of Doom to kill the giant. And then a heretic would have to go back. There's no unhallowed in the thing, so I think that makes some sense. It gives me the 5. Just running out of dice. So yeah, I'm going to exhaust Pact of Doom. We're going to kill the Wandering Giant. We have to shuffle Unhallowed into the deck. There are no Unhalloweds. This reveals it's a friggin' Horde Dragon. Awesome. So we're going to exhaust, exploit. We're going to kill the Horde Drake. When defeated, we get 2 more coins. But I have 8. If I exhaust Voracious, that is game over, and then I'll use the 6 over here to kill the Acolyte. That was, again, 8 cards is a lot. Oh, you know what I never did? I don't think it would have mattered. I never actually did the Living House ability, so the fire never went down by 1. Let me not exhaust exploit. This actually wouldn't have gone there. That was wrong. The giant I would have exhausted. I still have this 6. I never used this 2. Yeah, that one of them exhausted. That was wrong. I can defeat. I'll just lower this by 2, so the fire level is now just 1. But that way I don't have to exhaust exploit. That'd be really, really bad. And then I can kill the Acolyte this way. So I still have one of his abilities left. I did direct attack a dragon and a golem. So having those 2 can be really, really helpful for sure. But the heretic clearly needs to go back. It needs to stay in camp because the heretic has no abilities. And again, if you are on if you're on watch and you start the watch with all your abilities exhausted, you can't help at all. So not the greatest of situations, but much better than the last time. So that was the end of round 1. At the end of the round, we are going to reveal the next location. It's -2 to our fire, so our fire goes from a 6 down to a 4. The adventurer may spend a number of coins equal to a creature's damage to defeat that creature. That's kind of nice considering we have 5 coins. Thanks in part to the Horde Drake. Now, one thing I should have done at the end of last round is added a second coin to check map, a second coin to heal, and a second coin to scout ahead. Remember, scouting is when we look at the creature deck, check maps when we look at the map deck, and heal is when we just heal another adventurer. So hopefully I roll a 6 with one of the heretics dice because I think I have to send him back. We're also going to seal because I think that's super strong. At least you're visibly having fun with this game. Marty says, hello, how's it going? Sajid says, sup, Marty, no need for you to guess if we have a restart or not. Marty says, I really like this game for your videos. I backed it the last campaign too. What is that thing in your top left that I've never seen on your earlier videos? Sajid says, stop swearing. You're saying the 4-letter word math. I love math, by the way, I always have. This is for the Swords of the Coin. So this is from the second version of the game. I do like the original a little bit better. I went through that at the beginning of this for sure. I hope you had a nice New Year too, by the way. So this is a gives you items that can be really, really helpful as the course of the game. I'm tempted to buy Helm of Prophecy, but I might need that money to do this Adventurers Guild crap. Again, we have 8 creatures once again, and that's unlimited. That's not even once around. This was, yeah, that wasn't even once around either. That's sick. But I did want to keep that fire somewhat up. Now that the witch is in play and I have Hex, I'm not that worried about the fire getting above a 2. But the problem is you don't want the fire to hit the 1, because when the fire hits the 1, you have to first exhaust a card and then it bounces back to the 2. So the fact this went from 8 down to 6 down to 4, we probably want to chop wood if we can, just to get just to keep that fire from really hitting the 1 and bouncing back. So rolling these dice. All right, I rolled 2 6s with the heretic, so that's fantastic. This comes here, this comes here. We have a 10, 11, and a 12 with the berserker or barbarian, whatever. I played the, oh my, what a freaking amazing roll. 5, 7, and an 8 over here. This is magic. And a 1, 2, 4 for the witch. Love it all the way. So we're gonna, the heretic's gonna heal one of his things. We're gonna heal Pact of Doom. Heretic's gonna do a heal action. Is Pact of Doom that I want? No, we're gonna heal Corpse Pyre. I might want to equip him too. We'll see. We're gonna do a heal action. I think we heal Leap to get another potential ranged. Well, range isn't gonna matter as much if we're not gonna have visibility. I don't like Release the Beast. I don't like Trophy Swap. But the Barbarian, I will heal Leap. It's just potentially the most useful. We get 2 more money. So this becomes 7 money over there in our supply. We have 2 more things we can do. Checking the map makes some sense. So 2 more money. So we have 9 money over here. When we check the map, we look at the top card here. It is the Trading Outpost, -3 fire. During the camp phase, adventurers may discard items to gain as a group a number going to equal to their discarded items cost. That seems pretty garbage. Look at the top card here. It is not a respite. -2. Each human creature online gains +2 health. 7 and 7 either way. Human +2 health. Where are we at with fire? It ain't great. I don't love either of them. So we'll give humans +2 health so the fire doesn't take an extra hit, I think. And this just goes on the bottom of the unused location deck. Really just can come out of the game. We're never getting down there. And then again, just check map. You need a 4+. To heal, you need exactly a 6. With my last die, we do the seal action. I'm searching the graveyard for either. I'm searching the graveyard because the creature deck. I know there's an Unhallowed card in here. And then I'm going to place it at the bottom of the Unhallowed deck. So that's a really nice action. So there was a collector. He is the only Unhallowed that was in the game. We still have 7 cards here. Remember, monitoring how many Unhalloweds we have left is going to be super important. Tony says, Marty, this is the Swords of the Coin expansion, and it comes with a merchant board. You have ways to get coins, and you can buy items. Mike James, now that you have played this a few times, are you finding it too random, or does it work? I think it works. Again, what happened? That first playthrough, again, I don't know if, Mike, you saw the restart. The first playthrough is about as the number of things that had to go wrong for that to be so bad. I mean, that was a lot. That's not my normal experience. Tony says, good luck, Greg. Back to work. Monty says, what a dice roll. He was just missing me. I believe. You're like who's that? Mike Owens, man. He's the one. He comes into the chat and all of a sudden my dice rolls go to utter crap. Yeah, that was a sick roll, man. That was a very sick roll. All right, we're only revealing 1. The fire is a little low, so do you need to watch that? There's no Treants, I don't think, to really help that along, but you know, we'll see. We'll see how this goes. I did not heal anything else from the heretic, which I might be regretting. Man. Maybe I don't heal leap. With these rolls, yeah, the heretic, she's gonna go back in at some point. She's gonna get to refresh. I'm gonna heal commune. No, that's just too lucky. Although I will be peeking. Because if I don't reveal it, I'm gonna want it eventually. If I do reveal it, yeah, I'll reveal it. That's fine. I'll heal commune. So I just healed the heretic instead of the barbarian. I think that's a smarter play. Obviously, that's why I did it. So we have 8 creatures again. 4. The hunter. We kept his exploitability because I remembered that last minute. Remember, we go to the merchant phase before I get too far ahead of myself. I think I'm gonna buy the Helm of Prophecy. So that cost me 6. I get 1 back. I get the Helm of Prophecy, the Helm of Prophecy, and then I'll put this with the Witch. It's thematically appropriate. Now that's super expensive. So again, there's that thing that would have made me lose my most expensive item if it got to first position. So it is something to be aware of. All right, so the fire is only a 1. Oh, this gets 1 that refills. It is the backpack. Discard, choose an adventurer currently on Watts to take the equip action. Oh, that's super nice. All right, we're revealing the first card in line. It is first position. Discard all the coins from the camp action space with the most coins. Oh, by the way, I should have refreshed coins. I thought it was like going to be from my supply. Like the fact that I keep getting things with first position powers is kind of gross. So this is now a 3. And we still have 4 coins there. Remember, I can discard 1 coin just to kill the scoundrel, right? I can just do like crazy things right now, which is super cool. So it's the only thing that reveals. Now I'm going to put this on Hex. I'm going to negate the next Hex die value creatures that enter the first position. Now, I cannot use that. If he had like an ongoing ability, I can't use that to negate something that's already in the first position. But the next 4 creatures that get to the first position, all their abilities are negated. That includes defeat abilities, ongoing, revealed, first position. So again, you have this incentive to keep the fire 1 or lower. Otherwise, like you wouldn't negate reveal abilities because the reveal abilities happen in position 2, right? So like you have to keep the fire low. It really maximizes the power of Hex. Blood Ritual is also nice because I could just put a 1 or a 2, kill something that way, right? So like defeat the creature in the first position. So obviously having the 1 is important. If I'm not going to have the fire very up, I could just the creature in first position. I just defeat it. The Cat Familiar, remember, also let me peek. So, and that's going to give me an attack of a 5, a direct attack of a 5 once this round. So I actually, with my dice being what they are, I'm in a fairly strong spot. Of course, the Heretic has the garlic necklace over here. Can I pass once it's equipped? I don't think I can pass it. Can you pass items? I think once somebody gets an item, it's their item. I know when you buy it from the merchant, to give us any item, give them item access. So yeah, I don't actually have the garlic necklace this round. Yeah, I don't think there's anything about passing items, but you know. Items with discard. The refreshing camp. Items with their ability cards can be used by adventurers on Watts during the watch phase, unless the item explicitly states otherwise. Items with blah blah blah. Items doesn't say anything about them being passed. So we gave it to the heretic. We don't have availability. We don't have access to the garlic necklace, but hopefully it will come in handy later. Hopefully we don't get a vampire this round. So I'm going to use this 7 to defeat the scoundrel, and that gives me a 3rd bounty. So I have golems, dragons, and humans I'm very strong against, and that's it. I'm only allowed to have 3 bounties, as you know, the trophy limit, which is covered up there, lets me know. So it's the next of this creature is going to reveal in the first position. All of its powers are negated by Hex. So this reveal power, an adventurer with no exhausted abilities must immediately exhaust 1, doesn't apply. So the witch would have had an exhausted ability. Now she does not. How lovely. We're going to spend this 5 to defeat this forest creature, so we're going through the bounty hunter's dice pretty quick, but that's fine. If he has to exhaust exploit, it's not a big deal. We'll send him to camp next turn. And now this thing is out. Now it was a direct attack, but I'm already have my trophies. Forest creatures aren't that bad, so I'll just keep that I'll put that into the discard pile. 6 more. What do we get? This goes down to a 2. Oh, you know what? Actually, let me not do that. I'm going to actually use my cat familiar to kill, because the cat familiar is attacking with a 5. The cat can attack. When the cat attacks, you may peek at the top card of the creature deck. Top card of the creature deck is an enchanted golem. So now we know that that's there. Again, that's an ongoing ability. Enchanted Golem's health is increased by the total number of items equipped by the adventurers on watch. 8 health, 2 damage. So again, even good abilities are going to be negated by Hex. This goes down to a 2. Now, reveal a creature in the line. Well, it doesn't matter when defeated. Again, all of their abilities are negated. This has an attack value of a 7. It is a goblin, which is not a golem. Very, very different, kids. I'm going to need to start using the barbarian's abilities. The hunter's range, but who cares? I could use the 1 to wipe out the goblins. That seems excessive. So I'm just going to use the barbarian's 10, and we're going to wipe out the goblin scouts. They're going to go there. We have 5 creatures left. We reveal this. Again, this goes down to a 1. Ongoing. Ratswarm's health is increased by the number of unrevealed creatures in the line. So technically that's a 10, except that's negated. It is indeed still only a 6. 6 is a little bit. So that's an undead. I'm going to just use the 8. It is what it is. We're going to kill that. Remember, I have an 11, a 12, a 5, and then kill anything. So we should be okay. But again, a vampire might change that. That is the end of Hex. So Hex has done its job. There's nothing else that is Hex. But remember, I have the Helm of Prophecy, which I can exhaust this to cancel a reveal power. This is the Crawling Ooze. That ongoing ability is negated. Crawling Ooze is immune to direct attacks. Not anymore. You may discard an item from an adventurer on wants to defeat the Crawling Ooze. Well, we're not doing that either. Again, I have negated all their powers. 8 health. I will use the 11 because why not? But if a vampire comes out, I'm just going to be toast my ghost. But I mean, that's going to happen either way. I don't think it makes sense to use Blood Ritual. I could defeat something with a low value, but it needs to be a 5 because this is going to be a 3 and I have a die, which is a 2. Remember, I could flip transform. This goes back to a 4. So in theory, I could get a 7 out of that if I want to exhaust it. So that is something else which gives me an option. So Crawling Ooze is done. This thing is dead. We have our 12, a 5, and then the Witch Powers, a summon card. Choose one adventurer to immediately exhaust one of their ability cards and discard to the graveyard, replace it with a top card from the Unhallowed deck. I think the Barbarian's probably going back. Yeah, I'm going to do that. We're going to exhaust the Barbarian's ability. She's going back to camp next turn. That's for sure. And then we get this dude. He has a defeated ability. Search the graveyard for 2 slimes. Oh, that's really bad. Place those creatures, the forms was in line with the creature with the lowest first. There is 1 slime. That's really bad. There's only 1 slime. I'll be able to kill it with Blood Ritual, but not ideal. The question is, how am I killing the formless? I think I have to kill the formless with this. When it's defeated, so the Barbarian's out. When it's defeated, we have to add a slime from the graveyard. That's going to go there. Oh, remember, I can spend coins to start killing these things too, so I did forget about that. I'm going to use this 1 on Blood Ritual, defeat the creature in X position, which is the die value, so this dude is dead. Again, I can't use direct attacks on it, but that's not a direct attack. That's an ability. So that's dead. So I have this 4, I have a 2, I have a 5. We have 2 more things, and again, I could just spend money because we are in the Adventurers Guild. I can spend the number of coins equal to the creature's damage. I can negate 1 reveal power. Vampire, reveal. Nope, negating that. It only has 4 health. I will use... I don't have an undead over here, so exploit has been a little bit useless so far, but we're going to use this 2. We're going to flip over my familiar and refresh it. The familiar's health is a 3, plus the die is a 5, and that's enough to kill the vampire. Again, I negated the reveal ability because of the Helm of Prophecy. Last creature. I would really like it to be a human, a dragon, or a golem. It is a golem that is a magical pull. When the direct attacking this creature, adventurers must decrease the value of their unspent dice by 1. I'm just going to use this last die to exploit, defeat a revealed creature in a line whose type matches one of my trophies. I have a golem trophy. I killed the Clockwork Soldier. Woo! That was a magical round. All right, I dig it, man. That hex ability is strong. This was super strong. And we just had to exhaust 1 ability because of the 1 summon card. I don't hate that at all. All right. Well, Sagitt says, well, I mean, I'm still here too. Joey, I think the scoundrel makes you lose all coins on the scout ahead camp spot since... Oh, yeah, did I forget to do that? I did. Thank you. I forgot. Right, I forgot to do that. I thought it was there. Then I was like, oh, I forgot to add coins, and then I actually forgot to do the things. Thanks, Joey. Good looking out. And then I hope there are 2 vampires in the deck. That'd have been really bad for me. But yeah, managed to get through. We didn't have to spend any of our money, so we didn't take advantage of that ability at all. But overall, it was just a really strong roll that made a huge difference. So we're going to take all these dice. Again, I love Hex. It's so strong, but it does mean that you're not really moving that fire very much. It's kind of nice to keep it a low burning flame. So we did camp with the Heretic. The Heretic does have 2 things back. And Barbarian's going to have to go to camp. All right, so we're rolling these dice. Hopefully I roll very well with the Heretic and the Hunter. And again, we have this garlic necklace will really help against a vampire. Oh, we have to reveal the next location for round 3. -2. So our fire is at 2. It can't get the 1, that's fine. If it ever gets a 0, we exhaust a card and then bounces back. Again, it's one of those things I don't know why they didn't just write that on there. I don't know. Thanks. Each human and creature online gets +2 health. No doubt. So, rolling these dice, we have 4 health. Backpack could indeed be helpful. And yeah, we checked, we equipped. That all makes sense. Bam! So we got a 3/3/7 with the Hunter. Not amazing, not terrible. I do think I want him to equip. And, well, he probably should heal at some point. We got a 3/5/10 with the Barbarian. Not the most amazing roll. I just, it doesn't really matter. I need to send her to camp. A 1/2/4 for the Heretic is pretty bad. And a 1/1/3 for our girl, the Witch. This is going to refresh. So that's done. Barbarian is going to heal something. She's going to heal Leap. We're going to use Personal Might. Choose one of your exhausted ability cards and resolve an equip action with it. Then refresh the just equipped card. So I have to change out my cards. Exhausted ability to increase one of your dice to its maximum for each one of your exhausted abilities, including this one. You can basically make everything a 12, or you can make 2 dice to 12 if I have 2 exhausted abilities, 3 dice to 12 if I have 3 exhausted abilities. For each melee adventurer on watch, including Barbarian, you may resolve a single die direct attack with +1 range. I only have 2 melee, so Stone's Throw isn't that great. I don't think Rampage is so risky. I'm going to get rid of Rampage, and we're going to... I mean, Leap gives me the +1 range anyway. I think Bloodied could make some sense just to get up to some 12s. So we'll do that. So I did an equip and a heal essentially all at once. So that was my first die. My second die, I do want to get this firewood chopping going on a little bit, so that goes up 2. Definitely not equipping with the 10. I could do firewood again. I could check the map. I did not roll a 6, so I could not heal. The Heretic's probably going in next time. He needs to change something out, man. I love expertise. It's really good. So I think getting an equip ability with the backpack makes some sense. Only 7 creatures this time. Yeah, let me check the map. These locations can really make a huge difference. So -4 to our fire, wolves, only 6 enemies. When this creature enters play, adventurers of the group discard 3 coins. That's gross. And then the other alternative is -0 to the fire, only 6 enemies. The adventurer in camp may activate the check map. It's got a head camp actions, including ignoring any dice requirements. Yes, please. That is a magical pull. We got one of the respite locations. Again, checking the map. Sometimes it's a big dud. Sometimes it is a absolute game changer. So this will go here. So that will be our 4th location coming up. That is done with. Oh, now we go to the merchant phase. Well, again, stop forgetting to add coins, Greg. We're gonna add 1, 1, and 1, and then I'm gonna spend 2 to buy the backpack. Or do I just, no, let me spend a 4 to get the lucky charm. Because those rerolls could be really nice for the hunter. Those 3s are pretty garbage. So we're gonna get the lucky charm, passive ability, once per round. In camp or on watch, you may reroll any number of your dice. Lucky charm goes to the hunter. Again, every adventurer is limited to only 2 equipped items. So I'll put equipped items closest to the things. And I think that will work. All right, this gets revealed. It is the Ring of Repetition. Activate, choose an ability card with a die spent on it equal to the die spent on this item. Resolve that ability again. Super cool. So anything that's an activate ability does require placement of a die. This has an exhaust ability. This is a passive ability, which I don't know why I say passive. It's passive. It's once per round, so I don't know why it's just not an exhaust. Like, what is the difference between passive and exhaust? I'm not entirely sure. It effectively is the same thing. Practically is the same thing when the way you play them out. Oh, Mike Owens is here. I gotta get it on plane. Good luck. Have a nice flight, sir. Mike Owens, very late to the stream today. Just got back from the dentist to finish my first game of Too Many Bones. Lost against Drellin as Nugget Womp. Oh yeah, dude, Drellin is rough. Not as bad as Gendrix, but that poison can be really, really bad. If Greg was only good, I expect his luck to plummet with me arriving. Sajid, I think you are contractually required to lose the first several games, including being lost in the rule set completely. Mike Owens says, yeah, I'd have felt bad if I had won the very first game, and yes, very much lost in the rules, and the BGG forums being downright. Oh no, BGG's down. Gross. Didn't help. Mike Owens, luckily I've watched enough playthroughs of the game at this point that I'm not completely lost. Good to hear. All right, 7 cards coming out, baby. And hopefully we don't get super unlucky with the first one before we can get that hex active. And I'm actually going to sort these so I can see what they are. So bam, 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 bam. I don't know why I'm bamming. A lot of bamming, kids. No, not as many woofs today, just lots of bamming. So that is that fire is only set to 1, but again, that works well with the hex ability. What do we reveal? Ongoing. Enchanted Golem's health is increased by the total number of items equipped by adventurers on watch. So he has 11 health, but guess what, kids? He's a golem. So I'm going to get Hex in play. We're negating the abilities of the next 3 creatures that enter the first position. And then I'm going to use one of these 3s to do the exploit ability, which I'm going to kill that golem because I have a golem in my display. Bounty Hunter can get very, very strong. I'm going to use this passive ability. I'm going to treat it like an exhaust ability, and we're going to re-roll this die. It's a 3, so that was effective. And now we're going to flip this over. We negated all of its abilities. Nice. It's an Acolyte. Nope, it has no abilities, kids. Its reveal ability, search the graveyard for 1 summon card, or shuffle it back into the graveyard deck. Nope, first position, place the top 1 Hallowed into the Horde. Nope, none of that is going to happen. Not on my watch, you jerky jerk. Remember, he's a human, though, so his health went from a 6 up to an 8. I do have a human here. I have a direct attack of a 3. And I can peek at the first 2 cards at the creature deck. But I don't have a 3 and a 5, so a lot of this is... the math isn't super great. So I did make the trade-off. I could have had the other location where the health would have been increased by 3, increased by 2, but by fire would have been down 1. So I chose this one. Perhaps that was not the most amazing idea. All right, his health is 8. That person's health is 8. Woof. I'm going to do the Corpse Pyre. Look at the health of the top creature in the graveyard. Oh, that's also 8. To defeat a creature in line with lower or equal health, I'm going to defeat the Acolyte with Corpse Pyre. All right, and so that's better than the Pact of Doom. The Pact of Doom is I'm looking at the Unhallowed, but then I have to shuffle Unhallowed in the graveyard back into the deck, and all that gets really sketch. Scoundrel, his position, his abilities are negated. So first position ability, discard all the coins from the camp action space with the most coins. Negated, doesn't happen. Another human, however. I think so he has 10 health. That's bad. So I think the hunter is going to exhaust all of their abilities. They're going to camp next round anyway. At least that's the plan. Kind of pot committing myself to that now. Pot committed, kids. So we're exhausting exploit. So hopefully there's no dragons or golems that come up that are pretty nasty. The humans are the bigger problem this round anyway. This sucker is dead skis. But we still have this 3 was used to activate that the first time. We still have a 3, a 7. We have the 1 and the 1. It just seems really bad to do that, but it seems bad. It doesn't feel good. God, I do not have a lot of good things going on here. All right, next. Without the barbarian, it's like really bad. Woof. It's the never mind. It's a phantasm, but its abilities are negated. So hex is done. We're going to reset that to a 3 in case I want to use it for other things. And it only has 6 health. Abilities can only be activated with a die of 3 or higher. But again, that's all negated, so we don't have to worry about that. I'm going to use a 7 to kill this dude and hope for a forest creature or something with a relatively low value. It's only abilities. Is that an ability? It's not an ability. Maybe I hold on to this 7. 3 and 4. 3 and 3. Yeah, I'm going to actually attack with the crow and use this 3. And I'm going to kill this. I didn't activate an ability. That's not an ability. That's an attack. I'm going to kill the phantasm that way. Now, I could take the phantasm. There aren't as many phantasms as there are humans, dragons, and golems. And again, I'm at my limit of 3. So we're not going to worry about that. What was this again? I re-rolled the die. It went poorly. Awesome. 3 more creatures running out of abilities. No more hex. So this does count. Great. So 7 health. Reveal, and when defeated, we reveal a creature in line. It is a goblin. How many summon cards are in here? 1, 2. So chances of this being, I mean, I might as well do commune if I'm still in the same spot. I have the 7. So, well, defeat or reveal a creature online. We're going to reveal a creature anyway, but I can actually effectively reveal both of them. What I'm going to do is commune. I'm going to do it now. I think that makes sense. I think I have what I need to get through this round without that 2. So I reveal a creature online. If it's a summon card, I place it in the graveyard. Oh, clean living, kids. Great. That just goes in the graveyard without effect. That was freaking magical. Prevent the next Acolyte reveal ability from triggering. Sorry for yelling in your ears, but that was super awesome. I'm super excited. We're going to use the 7. We're going to reveal the creature in line when that's defeated. That 7 goes here. This flips. It's a... Oh, that was great. They were both summons. Of course they were, because remember, I had to shuffle the creature deck a couple of times, so they got totally out of whack. Wow. It's not terrible. Oh, man. But we get the... it's also not great. I never used the Helm of Prophecy. Woo! Alright, summon. Immediately stun one of our cards. What was this one? It was the same thing. Yikes. Super funny. That was crazy. Alright, so we're stunning transform. I'm not using it anyway. I was trying to set up to use it, but it didn't work. I have Blood Ritual. Actually, I might... Never mind. I'm going to stun Blood Ritual because I'm not using it anyway. So this comes in. She only has 8 health. First position, the adventurer in camp immediately exhausts one of their ability cards. So I'm going to exhaust Bloodied. Nope. Yeah, Bloodied. Woof. And then we're going to use Transform. I'm going to flip and refresh my Familiar. So that's an attack of a 5. Plus 1 is 6. And then I'm going to use this 4 and kill the Dream Master that way. So all the summons cards are accounted for. So that's good to know. So we don't have to worry about summons next round. It's hilarious. All right. Well, Bounty Hunter is definitely going to be in camp in round 4. Barbarian is like, damn it, guys. Why did you do that to me? And it's like, sorry. And we're going to call that a round. End of the round, this flips over. Again, no effect to our fire. The adventurer in camp may ignore the check map and scout ahead camp actions. May activate them, ignoring any dice requirements. So I don't have to be sequentially increased dice for the scout, and I don't have to be a 4+ to check the map. Which is fine. We probably want to do an equip, although I can always get the backpack to the equip that way. This refreshes. All these dice come over here. Was there a vampire? There was a vampire. So I have this garlic necklace, which I still have never used. Woo! I avoided his poison the entire game until fatigue rounds, and then that plus fatigue to be in. Joey says, Mike, Greg starting around the first game is so unfortunate. Your bad luck wouldn't have made it any worse. Mike says, makes me feel a little better. And Sad just like calling shenanigans. The deck was stacked. Steve says, should have exhausted the thing that deals with summons. Should have exhausted the thing that deals with... That's funny. Yeah, I was about to exhaust it, and then I decided not to. And then look at me. Sometimes I get lucky. Even a blind squirrel finds a nut. Sometimes, guys. All right. Woo! Well, I mean, I guess they sniff it. They have good, especially if good nose health. Those nosy squirrels will find all the nuts. And I know, I'm on a weird tangent about squirrels and nuts, and just go with it, guys. It's fine. I'm normal. Really, I promise. All right. Yikes. So we have a 1-1-3. We have a 7-7-10. Barbarian is here. Is not messing around today. She is here to play, kids. We have a 5-6-6. What is happening with these dice rolls? I swear, I'm gonna hit This might be the start of it. I think all the bad dice rolls I've had over the years, like there's like a pendulum that is swinging. That is just my dice rolls are going to be just ungodly good for the next 2 months. I'm calling it now. Woo! All right. Well, Hunter, I think you better go to camp. Discard up to 4 trophies to your graveyard. Then collect coins equal to the damage of the just. Ooh. So I could discard all of these guys to get 4 money. I mean, how much do I want to lean into this crap? Do I want to get? I don't know if I want to get rid of the dragon, but I could get 2 money. It's a weird. I mean, I like it thematically. It's almost like I kind of want to do it because thematically it's super cool. But I'm definitely gonna get exploit back. Man, he probably should heal too, because woof. Cause woof. I probably should damage one of the witch's abilities. The witch gives heal. The barbarian has a double heal. We're gonna spend the 6. We get the money. He's probably the one I want to equip the most, right? Ooh, no. I want to equip him there. I want to equip the heretic. Get rid of the Pact of Doom. It's too close to Corpse Pyre. Dead Rot's interesting, but it is pretty intensive. If I plan on sending the witch next, that will definitely heal one of the hunter's things. I don't really like the hunter's abilities that much anyway, although expertise is super nice. I'm more just looking at who's doing an equip action. Get the money for equip. I don't do collect bounty. I can check the map again. All right, I'm going to heal the heretic. Get him up to full, and then he'll be able to equip with backpack. We're going to do the one over here. We're going to equip. It's 2 more money, so I'm just going to make this 4. And we're going to equip with expertise. So we're going to take away release the beast. And we're going to so trophy swap, if I understand the mechanics of that, it's like when a creature has a reveal power, you can immediately swap it, but it's written pretty poorly. There should be a timing clarification on that card that I don't love. But anyway, so since I did equip, but since I equipped the card that was exhausted, the new card comes in exhausted. But I do like that ability. The question is, I don't think I need. It could be really strong. Choose an ability with this die spent on it. Resolve that ability again. Yeah, maybe that's not that good. You peek at a creature online. Spyglass probably isn't that good. Yeah, I don't want to do the collect bounty. I'm actually pretty good on money, so I'm going to use this 8, and I think we check the map again. I don't think it makes sense to chop. It doesn't make sense to, well, it might make sense to chop. It might indeed. Just checking the map every time is a lot. So I'm not going to do collect bounty. I think the bounties are just, they're too good to have. Having to rebuild those could be super annoying. You could chop it, get it up to 6, or things are going to start attacking my fire. I have a good feeling about that location, so I'm going to do that for no good reason. It's a premonition, guys. The witch is affecting me. So 1 and 2. So that's done. Merchant phase. I'm going to spend the 2 for a backpack, and I'm going to give it to the. Who's trying to equip? I'm going to try to get Marrowborn. So I'm going to give the backpack to the heretic. All right, so he's got 2 discard items. I think that will be a lot better than the Pact of Doom, but I had to heal the Pact of Doom to make sure the Marrowborn is effective this very round. So we're going to have 6 creatures in line. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Checking the chat. Could have exhausted the summons one instead. When you had to exhaust Bloodied, you could have. Right. But, huh? No, but I used the summon. What? I used the summons one here. I'm confused. I'm confused, Steve. Because I ended up using the summons with the barbarian has heal abilities. Yeah, I guess I missed the timing of when you wrote that, so I'm sorry. I'm definitely confused. Michael, it's time to test that theory by playing a game of Zeds. You do realize you just no, man. I'm telling you, it's impenetrable to jinxing. It's I only have 6 of these suckers. This is great. All right, first thing coming off, it's the Forest Giant. All right, we're definitely hexing the crap out of the first position. That's good. Forest Giant's health is increased by the next creature's base health. Reveal that creature. Oh, this should be revealed. So reveal if necessary. It's the Bone Knight. It is an undead. If there is revealed on Hallowed or Acolyte on the line, add Bone Knight to the end of the line instead of to the graveyard. So we definitely want to make sure he's super dead, so that doesn't happen. Ugh. Chances of that being an Acolyte, I think, is low. I think both Acolytes are in here. Chance of it being on Hallowed is also fairly low. Acolyte. Because remember, if there's an Acolyte in line, like we have to defeat him multiple times. So I'm trying to figure out how worried I am about that. But again, once he gets to first position, that defeated ability is going to be negated anyway. So not a big deal. But his health is now 18, which is super gross. He is a giant. I don't have a giant. 18 is a lot, kids. 18 is a lot. I have a 1 and a 1. Oh, I could just do that. All right, Blood Ritual. Defeat the creature in first position because I used the 1 to activate that. That thing is super dead. Now I'm not revealing any more creatures because again my fire that was only revealed because of the Forest Giant's ability. It was not revealed because of the fire. I'm going to use the Barbarian. We have a 10. We killed the Bone Knight. There is no revealed on Hallowed or Acolyte online. That was the next creature to get to the first position. So we have 2 more hexes to go. This reveals it is a zombie horde. His health is increased by the creature's base health on the top of the graveyard, except it's not because of the hex. There's 1 more creature that we're going to hex after this. So this dude's health is only an 8. It is an undead. We have 5. Sorry about that. Like to cough in your all's faces once in a while. Not a vampire. Reveal 1 card. It's definitely not a summons in there. Look at the top. The fact that you can negate acolytes even without the summons, though, is really strong. There's a lot of cool things going on with the Heretic right now. Look at the top card of the deck. Reveal one human or... Yeah, I'm going to use the backpack to get Marrowborn. So choose an adventure currently on watch to take the equip action. Buy Pact of Doom. I think Marrowborn is better. Oh, this should have got replenished at the end of the round. Vanquish Scroll, remove the top card of the Horde from the game. That could be helpful because there are 2 in there, but 1 is a creature. The bottom one in that deck is a Unhallowed. I'm going to use this 1 and this 7 just to kill the zombie because, you know, directing attacking with the witch is always a good idea. This flips. That is the last hex, so defeat it, then goes away. It's another Bone Knight. His health is only 9 instead of 10. This is going to reset to 3 in case I want it for any other purposes. I'm going to direct attack with the cat. When I attacked with the crow, I could have peeked at the deck. I forgot to direct attacking with the cat familiar using the 5. That's 10. When I direct attack with the cat, I can look at the top card of the deck. It's a Coffin Rat Swarm, an undead creature. I killed this dude with those 2 direct attacks. We peel this over. What do we get? It's a Scarecrow. Each adventurer resolving a direct attack as a Scarecrow must use their highest available die. Not a problem. We're going to do the Golem. This dude's dead, and then we flip over this last one. It's a Crawling Ooze. It's immune to direct attacks. You may discard 1 item from an adventurer on watch to defeat it. Well, gross. Immune to direct attacks, eh? 3, 6. I get the 6. It's not a reveal ability. It's no longer hexed. Arrgh. I have too many. So this is not a direct attack. It only has 8 health. Oh, I wish I still had Pact of Doom in play. This only has 5 health, so that's not going to kill it. It's a slime. Slime is really gross. So I used a 1. That's an exhausted die. I can just exhaust Blood Ritual, and then if I send the Witch back, which I'll probably do, we'll just kind of go in that cycle. That's going to be enough to kill the Crawling Ooze, because it was a 1, so I just did Blood Ritual twice. Crawling Ooze is defeated. End of the round. Next location. Was my good feeling okay? Not terrible. -2, so this gets down to 4, and then each time a first position creature power triggers, the adventurers as a group discard 1 coin. Woof. That could be pretty terrible. Maybe it would not be a good time to send the witch to camp, although I did just exhaust Blood Ritual. So yeah, Hex could be too important. So we'll see if I can roll the 6 with somebody else. So we're going into round 5. Everyone has been in camp once. Again, I wish these were just big circles with a number 1 on one side and a 2 on another. I think that artwork is just a really bad choice. But, you know, it is what it is. This garlic necklace has not been all that helpful. And Vanquish is discard. Yeah, okay. Rolling some dice. We're actually pretty good with the Unhallowed deck. There was just 5 in here. We might want to do some sealing action. Heretic's already fully healed though, so if we send the Bounty Hunter or the Barbarian back, it might make some sense if one of them rolls a 6. Booyah. So 4, 6, 8 for the Hunter. 4, 7, 10 for the Barbarian. Not the greatest of rolls. A 1, 2, 2 for the Heretic. Woof, woof, and woof. 2, 2, 3 for the Witch. And if I have no coins, the Thieves' Den doesn't do anything to me. Right, that's a thing. But first abilities can be really bad. I do like the doubles. So there's 2 unhallowed in here. Exhaust one of their abilities, a Dream Master, and then the other one was pretty gross. Oh, did I shuffle it? Oh, I shuffled it back into the deck. Did I do that? I thought it came out again. Unhallowed, Dream Master. It wasn't the Gorgon. What the heck was it? It was like some goblin-y thing. Why am I missing an unhallowed? One, two, three, four, 5, 6. Dream Master. There should be 7. How would have unhallowed? Wasn't that the first round where I added that? So it couldn't be an unhallowed. That makes no sense. That makes no sense. It's not there. Someone smarter than me. No unhallowed there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I can't even figure. Did I discard a card from here? That's not unhallowed. There should be 9 over here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So that's right. 5. 1, 2, 3. There should be 34 cards in here. 1, 2, 3, 35 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It's 30, 34, 35. All right, the case of the missing unhallowed. What did I do? One, two, 3, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. That's right. 35. This is 1 unhallowed. Someone smarter than me has to tell me what the heck I did. There should have been. We started with 7 unhallowed. I added 1 to the deck. There should be 6 left here. You definitely started with 7. There's 17 total. There's 9 over here, so there's 8 in the game. 1 starts in there. It's not in the location deck. I literally cannot figure this out. I'm really smart. SMRT. Smart, smart, smart. There should be 6 cards over here. There's 2 acolytes. There's 2 summon cards. I can account for literally every card in this game, except I'm missing 1 unhallowed. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Woo! Kids, this is nutty. All right, I'm waiting for the chat to help me out here. The Dream Master. Oh, it's stuck. Whoa, what the heck? Yeah, the 2 slimes. I'm sorry, man. Why was that stuck together? It was the slime, too. The formless was sliming up my cards. I'm like, it had to be there. It just, those 2 cards got stuck. That's really freaking weird, dude. Like, I can't even feel, like, there's, like, nothing sticky on there. They just got stuck. It's very weird. All right. Okay, mystery solved. All right, so adding one of those 2 to the bottom of the deck could be good. I don't think I could send the witch. Because well, at some point I'm going to get first position powers, right? I think this is a good time to do it. Let's go. All right, so 3. I talked myself into it. We're going to heal her blood ritual. We're going to use dark magic. Someone else can heal something. We're going to heal passive. And then we're going to put this in here. So I'm making the end round a little bit worse with dark magic, but I think that's fine. Once we're around, they can re-roll. Heretic is an interesting spot. We are going to then do 2 of these, and we are going to seal, and we're going to bolster. Who wants to re-roll? Definitely can use some rerolls. We're going to seal and we're going to bolster. I'm going to take one of the, when you seal, I can take one of the unhallowed from the graveyard to place it back underneath the deck. Definitely need to do that a couple times over the course of the game. Who do I hate more? I think the formless is pretty bad because we do have a bunch of slimes and that could make life really hard. I mean, the other one does make me exhaust a card, but I think we'll be able to make that work. And then we're going to re-roll. We're going to re-roll the 1, 2, 2, the 4, and the 4. So anything that was in the bottom half of the possible roll to see if that was a good move. Yeah, that's now a 7. That's better. A 2, 6, 6 is way better. The 4 went from a 4 down to a 3. Whew, loving the Simpsons reference, says. Yep. All right, let's make this happen. So I'm adding 7 cards to the line. Thank you, Witch, for all your witchy ways. We're going to reshuffle these guys. And the sealing has to be from the graveyard, so it was important that I did that then if I was going to get one of those unhallowed out. But now all the summon cards are back, and the Acolyte is back. I think the Commune, well, maybe the Commune is not going to make much sense because Acolyte ability, adding a summons card back to the deck isn't going to be a problem until we actually have summon cards in the deck. But see if we can get through this without exhausting too many abilities right now. Again, a round without the witch is always going to be a little sketch, but then we'll have her back for the rest of this. And I love her setup with Blood Ritual Transform and Hex and the Helm of Prophecy. This thing can ready. Cat is back in good position. God, I still can't believe how much that was sticking together. I counted 3, 4 times. I mean, I just knew it was there. I'm like counting everything else. Like it had to be there. Only reason I went back. All right. Enough of an uninteresting thing, Greg. We're going to move on. Get over it. Oh, a couple things. So we're going to add coins. Bam, bam, and bam. I did not get any coins last turn. I cannot afford anything, so we're going to actually just grab one of these. Cat's Eye Opal, activate until the end of the round, reveal 1 more creature than the campfire level normally allows. That could be strong. What am I not going to take? I'm not going to take the Ring of Repetition. I think it just requires too many moving parts to be... it could be effective, though. I'm not doing Spyglass, I don't think. Well, peeking could be useful. Yeah, I'm not doing Spyglass. More likely to use Ring of Repetition. I definitely want the Cat's Eye Opal. That is fine. All right. We're only revealing 1 because our campfire is only a 1. We do have some things back. Again, expertise for resolving a direct attack. Double the value of your dice against any creature type in your trophy collection. Then discard that trophy. So our trophies are now going to start being discarded. We have a giant bat. Woo! Giant bat. Swap the giant bat with the top vampire in the graveyard. If any, there are no vampires in the graveyard, so that worked out to our advantage. And yeah, I think it's time to smash him in the face. Why not? We're gonna kill the forest creature. There's a 7. Booyah! Thanks for playing. Next, first position. Swap giant. Honestly, I was also looking at the keywords. I did not realize it was back-to-back giant bats because when I was looking for the last unhallowed, that was pretty nuts. Only need a 6. We're going to kill you with that. Thanks for playing. Giant bats, not very effective. Reveal, an adventurer with no exhausted abilities must immediately exhaust 1. Damn it! All right, we are going to exhaust Commune because we don't need that right now. This dude only has 6 health. We'll use one of the hunter's abilities. Bam! Dead skis. Goblin would be good with Marrowborn. Let's see. First position. Oh, it is the Unhallowed. The adventurer in camp immediately exhausts one of their ability cards. That's gross. I'm going to exhaust Transform, although I've used that to good avail. So far, Hex and Blood Ritual are too strong. We need 8 to kill her. We are going to kill her like that. She's out. 3 more. Easy game. Clockwork. Ongoing. When direct attacking a creature, adventurers must increase the value of all its spent dice by 1. I still have Exploit. I have a Golem. Expertise is going to be less useful. I only have 2 left. I have a 7 and a 10, and we could get a vampire. All right, I'll make this a 9. I'll make this a 6. And those are the keep. I don't want to use his last die so willy-nilly. So 9, 6. The 9 is still enough to kill the Clockwork Soldier. We reveal this. It's a Clockwork Soldier. That's great. We'll just use exploits. So expertise didn't do anything for me, but that should be fine. He's dead. And last but not least, we have a Clockwork Soldier. No! Yowza! That sucks. Woof. First position. You couldn't wait until I got my witch back? You jerk. Wow. Woof. Alright, exhausting 2 abilities. I will exhaust. I'm probably sending the barbarian to camp. I'm going to exhaust expertise. And leap. No. Wow. Huh. That sucks. I'll do expertise and corpse pyre. And then I need 13. I have 14 over here. And this dude's dead. Yikes. That was gross. He's dead. I get 2 coins. So that gets at the 4 because he's a Horde Drake. Yeah, it was gross. That was almost like an amazing round. And I get the Witch back and I could cancel some abilities. So that was just an unfortunate place for that Horde Drake. Remember, this other Horde Drake is not even in the deck. So, yikes. Done. We are going to go to the chat. Back-to-back bats. Hopefully no back-to-back summons this round. And then Saturday, so all point do we call a loss? I don't know. I feel good about this one. We'll see. That could change. This comes off. We're revealing this. Oh, no. Okay. Well, -4. That goes to 0. I have to exhaust an ability, bounce back to 2. I'm going to exhaust the Barbarian's ability, and I think we just have to send her. Oh, man. The adventure camp may take the check map action without spending a die. That wasn't good. This took a really weird turn, kids. Yeah, I don't want to fully exhaust anybody else. So... Heretic. Oh, man. Wow, that was a weird turn. So, yeah, I definitely don't want to exhaust any of the witches things. So we only have 7, but we can at least do the camp action, check map action, and now we probably did want to chop wood as well. So, sketch. All right, we're going to roll these 12 dice. The witch has gone to camp twice. She cannot go to camp again. And I have 7, 8 abilities. That was rough. I lost 3 abilities right at the very end there. Things were looking much better until that whacked out turn of events there. All right, booyah. So 127 for the heretic. Don't think I'm sending him to camp. A 9, 10, 12 for the barbarian. That's way too good to pass up. A 4, 4, 4 for the witch. What's the 4, 4? Woof, that's amazing. And a 2, 5, 6 for the heretic. So I have to send the heretic, I think, guaranteed. He's immediately doing the check map action. I assume I don't get that coin because I'm not placing a die there, but that's fine. So this is going to be for round 7 because we're going into round 6. So it's -2. Each time an adventurer defeats a goblin, they may reroll all of their unspent dice versus -1. Each time a creature in the first position power is revealed, move the creature 1 space toward first position. Tall grass. I mean, my fire is low. I think the -1 and only 6 is better. For sure. And that will just go on the bottom. I'm going to use this 6 to heal my friend Barbs. So Barbs can be useful. We're going to get her leap back. We're going to use this 2. We're going to seal again, so we won't have to really seal again. We seal again, so we don't have to seal anymore. There's an unhallowed in here. Oh, there's an unhallowed in the graveyard. I'm sorry. So I'm choosing the graveyard. I know what's in there. Dream Master. So the unhallowed deck should be good enough to get me through the rest of this game. There are 7 in there. The Heretic Seal ability is very, very strong. And now I have this 5. I think I have to chop firewood and get that beefed up a little bit. This is his 2nd time. Yeah, we have a lot of hurt cards here, but we're going to check map. Nope, we already checked map. We're going to chop firewood. 2 does not a fire make. So we have 6 money over here. We're going to the merchant phase. I will buy Cat's Eye Opal. I think that's strong. I'll give that to the witch. Kind of fits into her whole witchy prophecy thing. And then we're going to buy, make sure that's still on screen, with the 3, 4. Not that worried about the horde. Although I do have 2 more creatures in there that could, plus an unhallowed, that could be pretty nasty. I'll take this passive, and I'll give it to the hunter. Spyglass. Make sure his D8s are nice and strong. So we don't trust the barbarian with items. She's just a barbarian. So 7 cards coming across. 4, 5, 6, and 7. Whoo! Hopefully this goes a little bit better. Last one was like cruising, and then it was like bam, punch in the face 3 times. Hoo-yeah! It's a forest giant. Health is 8, increased by the next creature. And oh, this should come off. It is the Dragon's Tooth Spear. And I have to use a die to do that, to activate that. So we're not that worried about that yet. The Dragon's Tooth Spear, defeat the creature in 2nd position. Ooh, that's nice. That's nice. I assume you can use that on something that's unexhausted, and it's an exhaust. It's not even an activate, but it costs 6. So yeah, that is defeat the creature in X. Oh, I could use that on an unrevealed creature, right? So I can just defeat the creature in 4th position with Blood Ritual. This is where I get confused. This is where this game kills me. I don't know. Somebody Google that. That could change 3 seconds later. Oh no! I'm love checking this game. I always try to keep the fire at 7+. I hate seeing this. Yeah, but it's just, with the witch though, man, she's so much stronger when you can't really see what's going on. What do we get? Set a watch defeating unrevealed creatures. Witch. Oh boy, down. Well, I'm on board game. I always play that Blood Ritual can defeat unrevealed. I think that makes sense. It doesn't it usually says unrevealed, or sometimes it says unrevealed. I don't know. It gets really confusing. Anyway, so I'm revealing the second thing because of Frost Giant. It is a wandering giant ongoing. His health is increased by the number of locations in the discard pile. That's gross, because that's 6. So 15. Maybe I should have a giant over here. I do not. 4 4s is nuts. I'm going to use once per round. I'm using a lucky charm. We're going to re-roll these suckers. 8 and 4. Oh man, I think I have to. That's a good roll. Yeah, I think. I mean, he's got 15 health. We're hexing the next 4 creatures in the first position. The ongoing ability is already triggered though, so like that's not even a thing. Actually, which means I probably shouldn't hex it yet. Oh wait. No, I guess that would negate his ongoing. I think that would negate his ongoing, if I'm correct. Yeah, so he's only going to be at 9. It wouldn't undo the reveal, but the ongoing will now be negated once he gets the first position. So that will work, I think. Someone can correct me if I'm wrong. It is what it is. All right, I'm going to use the oh man. Use one human or goblin. Funny thing is that his health is 17. I need man, I need the heretic to get some health back. I need to roll a 6 with Barb or the hunter. 17. I'm gonna use the 9. I'm gonna use the 9 and the 7. To kill the forest giant. Now I'm gonna do hex. He's now just down to a 9. I'm gonna use this 10 to kill the giant. This reveals ongoing. That's negated by hex. The next 3 powers are negated. I'm going to use this 4 to defeat the 4th creature in line. So I'm defeating this one. It's the Coffin Rat Swarm. That's fine. So we should be good because the reveal abilities are negated. That's out. Great. Maybe there aren't enough human and goblins for me to really have cared about Unborn, but the getting an undead creature and using it as a die is like so strong. I'm going to use this 8. Oh, I can use the 4 to use Exploit because it's a golem to defeat the enchanted golem. This reveals this is canceled. So, Zombie Horde's health is increased by that. No, it is not. No, it is not. When I negated his ability, I gained his ability, and I negated his ability, so this is down to a 1. If I just forgot to take it down. I need an 8 for this clown. Great. It's an undead. He's now very dead. This it's a summon. Alright, choose one adventure immediately exhaust one of their ability cards. That's not great. The next creature in there will be negated. Well, I have no tame creatures anyway, so that's not a big deal. I still have this 12. I think I exhaust the barbarian. hopefully she rolls a 6. Am I leaping? Maybe that's a bad idea. I can't exhaust either of them. I could exhaust a hunter, I guess. Fine, I'll exhaust the hunter. We'll get him go to camp next turn. Cat Familiar still has that attack. So in theory, I could get a 9 between the Cat Familiar and the 4. So we're exhausting the hunter's ability. And then we grab this. That revealed ability, I could negate it with the Helm of Prophecy. It's also negated with Hex. This resets to a 4. We're going to use this 12. Must be nice. That thing's dead. And then I do want to get expertise back. Woof. And this reveals it's the Poison Spider. I'm going to negate its reveal ability with the Helm of Prophecy. And I don't have any adventures, no exhaust abilities anyway. And then I can kill it with the Cat Familiar. When I do that, I can look at the top card of the deck. It is a Bone Knight. That will be the first creature I need to defeat next turn. So, looking at the next map, I know what it is. This is -1. Each creature with the first position power moves 1 toward first position. We're going to roll these 12 dice. That is going to be for round 7. Bounty Hunter definitely needs to go to camp. So, hopefully, I roll a hopefully I roll a 6 on my d8s. I did not. I rolled a 2, a 3, and an 8. Did I roll a 6 with the Barbarian? I did not. I rolled a 6 with the Heretic. Not useful. 2, 3, 6. 3, 2, 9. And 1, 2, 3 for Milady. Well, here we go. Not great. So 6 enemies in here. We're going to go to... Oh, it's a bad roll. Bad camp rolls. We're going to spend the... I'm definitely not collecting bounty. Just don't see the benefit. Yeah, Marrowborn hasn't done much for me. Corpsepire hasn't been healed in a while. Yeah, we got problems. All right. We still have Blood Ritual. We have Leap still. I managed to save that. I can use that pretty aggressively. I know I'm sending her in. So the 2 I'm going to... I could check map again. It's been working well for me. I could scout. We already know what that is, though. Yeah, we're not collecting bounty. What are we going to heal? We're going to heal Exploit, obviously. We're not healing Expertise. I will check the map because that's obvious. We get 1 coin out of that. This is -0. Each adventurer on watch may exhaust a card to destroy a creature revealed in line. Each time a revealed power resolves. -2 fire. That's gross. 9 creatures. Woof. This is -2. 7 creatures enter the watch phase. Adventurers group must exhaust 1 additional ability card for each creature entering the horde. So we just can't have creatures enter the horde. I can definitely not take 9 creatures. That's disgusting. So that's going to go there. I'm going to spend the 2 to get the firewood up to 5. It was at 3. It's now at 5. And I could scout ahead just to get the Moolah. But I already know it's a Bone Knight. When you scout ahead, you can look at the top 2 cards of the creature deck, return them to the top or the bottom of the creature deck. It did not roll especially well. It would have been nice if I could have bolstered the Barbarian having a 2 and a 3. Bloodied is already exhausted too, so I can't even set those to max. I can use Blood Ritual to kill the Bone Knight, though, and then I'll have the Hex abilities active, so I feel okay about this. Remember, there's only 6 creatures, too, so that's going to be really helpful. The 3, I will... scout ahead just to get the money. So the first 2 creatures, one is the Bone Knight, the next one is the Scarecrow. Must resolve their strongest die. I think I could still use the Cat Familiar, right? Cat Familiar considered the direct attack? I don't think so. Are you a direct attack, Cat? Cannot be defeated. The Witch. Familiar. Dark setup. It can make a direct attack without spending a die. So I have no idea how that comes together. I mean, I could just use the 6 for the Heretic and just avoid the rules quagmire. But I'm actually gonna, and I wouldn't need to negate that. Well, it's ongoing. It's gonna be negated anyway. Yeah, that's fine. I'll just do the Hex, and then I'll just kill it with the Cat Familiar. And then I can see the next one. It's better than risking a first position power that's kind of game breaking. Alright, so 6 coming off. And that's it. So act surprised, it's a Bone Knight, kids. I'm going to use Blood Ritual. We have murdered the Bone Knight. Well, Hex is also in play for the next 3 creatures. So this goes down to a 2. This reveals. This goes down to a 2 because of the Scarecrow. And it's the next. Actually, it is the next. So I think I can prolong that. Oh, is it creature powers or number of creatures? God, Hex is worded so badly. It is the next X. So is all the powers are the next 4 creatures, or is it literally the next number of powers? How many creatures have multiple powers? Most don't, but I might be overplaying that. There's Hex is written so badly. Alright, I think it's the number of powers. Again, most creatures don't have 2 powers, so if I overplayed that once, it just seems like it's the number of powers. But there's a lot of problems with Hex. So I've negated ongoing either way. So this was a 3. It's down to a 2 because I just don't want to spend a die. So I think because it is a direct attack, I would have to spend a die. I don't want to bother with that. So I'm using the Cat Familiar. That lets me peek at this. It's a Acolyte. Ooh. That's not good. I definitely want to scout ahead again because I want to get this way on the bottom. Because it's going to be coming right into the first position. So that's a problem. And I've killed the Scarecrow. Great. The Cat Familiar is amazing. Alright. We're going to reveal this. So I'm negating that power. Oh, that's crazy because if it doesn't have a power, most of them have powers, but yeah, this is nuts. So there's only one more power I can negate with Hex. Abilities can only be activated with a die of 3 or more. This only has 6 health. We're killing it with the Heretic. Dead. This reveals it's a summon card. Woof. I have to stun an ability card. We're getting replace it with a, and then replace with. Great. We're gonna cancel the reveal power of the White Demon, so that's not a problem. I will stun leap because I don't think I'm using it this turn. So oh, it's stun. I'm immune to stun because of course I am. I'm going to stun Marrowborn. This goes away. This gets added. That's negated. Thanks to Hex. Hex resets to a 3. We are going to use this 9 to kill the demon. I have no more Hex things active, but I can cancel reveal powers with the Helm of Prophecy. Bone Knight defeated. That's not going to matter. I could activate to reveal this, see if it's a first position power. Woof. I forgot how bad the Barbarian rolled. Yeah, she rolled pretty garbage. No vampire. That garlic necklace has never worked. I could exhaust leap. I'm sending the barbarian back anyway. And that would give me a total dice of 10. I think that makes sense. I'm going to exhaust leap. Total. Yeah, I know I'm sending the barbarian to camp, so I think this is going to be the strongest play. Exhaust leap. I could get super unlucky here. What do we get? It's a scoundrel for resistance. Just go all coins from the camp space with the most coins. It's only the equip space. He only has 8 health. We're going to use these 3 dice to kill him. All right, these come off. Cat Familiar is readied. We're going to the last location before the finale, -2, 1, 2, and at the end of the watch, so if anyone goes to the horde, we have to exhaust another power, so we just got to make sure that doesn't happen. Barbarian has to go to camp. It'll be amazing if I can roll a 6 with her. And remember, this is my last chance to go to the merchant. There is no merchant phase. It's not clear in the rulebook. It's kind of there, but not really. There is no merchant phase after the last camp action because there's nobody in camp. So, because again, the merchant thematically is coming to visit you in camp. So we're having to buy something this round or never buy it. Why is there 3 money there? Did I buy anything last turn? I don't think I did. So I should have added something. I did not buy anything. Yeah, pretty sure I didn't buy anything. So the staff of the orc should be there. Deal to the creatures of first position damage equal to the value of the die on this card. Oh, that could be amazing for the barbarian. Of course, I forgot to add money. Yeah, I think I skipped this altogether. I chopped firewood, so that wouldn't be a thing. I did scout to take money. I did not check the map because that was for free. Nope. I did check the map with an 8. I did not heal because I didn't have a 6. I did not equip. I chopped wood to get that up to a 5, and I scouted to get that money. Something took money away from me, though. I chopped wood. I scouted. I had dice there and there. I checked the map. So one of these would have, no matter how you cut it, one of these would have $1. I think I did a heal the action time before. So I think equip would be empty. I think it should be like this. Someone can correct me if I'm wrong. Yeah, I just totally forgot to add the money. Because if I add money to equip and to there, remember the scoundrel would have made me discard coins. Because, whatever. So another reason a 6 would be amazing, because I could use the barbarian to buy some stuff. And I can heal into somebody else's ability, Definitely not checking the map. 6 to the barbarian, please. No dice. So we're not going to be able to buy that. I'm sorry, the staff of the orc should be here. I would have put it there. So 2, 4, and 11. We got a 1, 5, and a 6. Barbarian heals 1. A 1, 2, and a 3 with the heretic. Woof. That's horrible. We do have the lucky charm where he can re-roll, so I don't hate that. I could have re-rolled actually when he was on watch to try to roll the 6 last time, but I still like my actions a lot. The 1, 3, 4 with the witch is really nice. All right, we're going to obviously do her special power. We're going to replace this. There are not a lot of forest and humans in line. I don't. This will give us some ranged in case I don't use a leap. So this will go away. And this will heal unless I want to do rampage. Rampage kills 2. It's pretty strong. I have to scout because I don't want that acolyte to come out. So woof. I can cancel the vampire with the Helm Prophecy. It's only gonna be 7. I don't hate that. He's pretty easy to kill. But the acolyte's definitely going on the bottom, so I'll know where that is. Alright, and now I have this 11. Can't heal. I can chop firewood again. I think that makes some sense. We'll chop this up to 5. Checking the chat. Sergeant, scout, go scout. Have you been adding cores to the base camp spaces? You might have been destroyed. I think I forgot the one last round. I think that was the first round I forgot. Because I definitely was aggressively getting the money to spend it. By the way, I froze on OBS, but I could see that I'm still operating on the YouTubes. So I think we're good, just on super delay. But yeah, Joey, you're totally right. I forgot to add money last turn. Yeah, but I still only have $1 there because again, I checked map, I chopped firewood, and I scouted last turn. So I would only add money there and there. Equip would have been the one I used the least for sure. Heal I didn't use last turn. I used it the turn before, so I should have 1 money for sure because 4 of the action spaces, thanks to the scoundrel, would have been wiped out. But that's fine. So not gonna buy. Oh, I might as well buy the Vanquish scroll. Just make life a little bit easier, and just get rid of something from the horde for the final thing. This is our last chance to buy something from the merchant, so that will make life a little bit easier for sure. And now we're adding up our line for 7. And I know, remember, there's an acolyte going to be the 3rd ability there. Yeah, I'm going to need to actually watch this on YouTube. Try to get as up to date as possible, and then I can come back here to get the chat. Oh, is he a spent die? Wait a second. Oh, yeah, I never read that close enough. That is crazy. They are way friendlier than the base game. Wow. That's nutty, dude. That is absolutely nutty. I never realized that. Oh, that's sick. Yeah, they're awful. They're awful in the base game. Like game-breakingly bad, especially because you got the bandits moving around and they good call, Joey. That's sick, man. You just changed my life. Ah! All right. Well, here goes nothing, kids. All right, let's flip this over. All right, that 1, 2, 3 is garbage. So reveal still the highest available spent die. There are no spent dice. That's fine. We roll these 3. It's a 1, 4, 7. That's better. And I'm going to use this. I'm going to peek, and once per watch, I'm going to peek at a creature in a line. Increase all my unspent dice by that creature's damage. It's a summon card. Oh, I wish I had commune back. Oh, that's hilarious. It's got a reveal power. I can cancel that sucker because that's really gross. Yeah, that's great. All right, we got a nice little combo here. That's really funny. All right, we're gonna kill the vampire. I'll tell you'll see what it is in a second. I'm killing the vampire with that whopping 4. There is no damage amount because this would allow me to increase my dice by the damage amount. There is no damage amount on the card because it's a summon card, so that was unfortunate. But the vampire is dead because I had no available spent dice. Now we summon. Choose one adventurer to immediately stun one of their cards. Well, isn't that just lovely? So I'm going to stun this Marrowborn, which I added thinking it would be great, and it just hasn't done anything for me. But at least it just cost me the 1. I don't want to stun any of the witches things or any of the hunters 1 thing. So this goes away. This gets added. That has the reveal ability, move Headless Rider to the end of the line. I'm going to cancel that with the Helm of Prophecy. Ongoing until he's defeated. Each time a creature is moved to the graveyard, reduce all unspent dice value by 1. Super nasty, but we are not going to have to worry about that. I'm going to hex the next 4. I think that immediately. It's so written so badly. I think that the next X. So I think that will immediately get downtick to 3. I can't even figure out how this is supposed to work. I think it immediately downticks to 3 because it cancels the next X powers that are first position. But this is already a first position, so it is not next. So I'm not even bothering to negate that. Yeah, that needs you need like a whole like FAQ book just on hex alone. I'm going to use the Vanquish Scroll before I forget to get this card out of the Horde and remove it from the game. Bye. That's fine. I'm going to. This is Unhallowed. I can just use Blood Ritual on it, which is an aggressive use of Blood Ritual. Yeah, man. Not being able to heal the Heretic up at all has been very limiting. I got slammed for those 3 powers in a row. It's pretty gross. Remember, there was no healing powers. Like this is it. This is it. So the Hunter's reroll could have been a wee bit better. That 8s are all of a sudden looking really gross. The Cat Familiar gives me a 5. I don't have Transform back, which is a problem. I'm going to use this. I mean, I guess I use Blood Ritual. Can I do better than 8? I don't know, man. There's definitely. I still have Exploit. Yeah, fine. Blood Ritual would kill you. This is going to flip. Reveal is canceled by Hex, so 3 more powers can be negated. Choose one. I don't have to worry about it. It would say either adventurers as a group spend 2 dice to the same value, or place a top Unhallowed behind Sealbreaker in line. No. 6 damage. You're dead. I do have a human, but dragons and golems are scarier, so this flips. As an ongoing power, that's negated. That's down to 2. It is 8 health. It's slime. You are slime. I should have done what I was originally thinking. Woof. Alright, Cat Familiar gives me 5. This power gives me 3. That is now these are all exhausted dice, so if I want to I mean the 1 and 3 exhausted dice, so if I wanted to use Blood Ritual again and just flip it over, that I could use the 1 or the 3. Slime is dead. This is gonna be real tight. Yeah, because Carnival of Fear is in play, and that's not great. The Bloodworm, first position, that goes down to a 1, so I don't have to worry about that. 8 health, it's a dragon. I'm going to use Exploit with the Horde Drake to kill him. So I have a 7 and a 5. Woo! Hoping for some good luck. So I have 1 left over there. Goblin Scouts. It's got a 7. Great. That dude's dead. I reveal the last one, and I hope it has 5 health or left, or this is going to be a painful final round. It's not. 7 health. Yikes. This hex goes away. Eh. 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 This has been useless. I can't fully exhaust the hunter. I can't fully exhaust the heretic. So the witch is getting fully exhausted. And we're using that 1 that was an exhausted die, and we're killing the goblins. Or she's getting not fully exhausted. We're exhausting blood ritual. So we still have hex, but the goblin scouts are dead. So 2 damage, 2 damage, 2 damage, 1 damage. We have our finale to come. And we just better roll really well, kids. It is what it is. But we're at the finale again, so I dig that. So take the barbarian dice back. Could have definitely used the 6 on the last. Oh, I forgot to do this again. I definitely could use a 6. I think I scouted ahead. Equip. I did not check the map. Did not equip. I chopped. I scouted. And I did primal might. Yeah, so that's correct. Alrighty then. Again, we know an acolyte is here. Acolytes are less painful. These all get refreshed. We have no more merchant phase, so the merchant board can just go away. And this is -2, 9. The first time adventurer exhausts all their abilities, add a creature to the end of the line. Whoa! So it's effectively 10, because that is 100% going to happen. If all of our abilities are exhausted during this, we are totally screwed. So these are getting added to the end of the line, and we know that's an unhallowed. And we're going to have a number more, right? As far as cards in the unhallowed deck, we have 4 cards there, so that's pretty good. This is going to be really rough. Best roll high. Barbarian. Maybe I should have readied Bloodied. No, I never had a chance. Leap is too good. I'm just going to have to roll good. Roll good! Not bad. 4, 9, 10 with the Barbarian. Could have been a lot worse. 3, 5, 5 with the Hunter. Remember, I can re-roll with him, and then we have an ability to uptick his things with the Spyglass. We have a 2, 3, 4 with the Witch. Blood Ritual is out, so that's fine. Cat Familiar is going to re-ready. And then we have a 3, 3, 4 with the Heretic. We're adding 9 things. 1, 2, 3. This has to get reshuffled. The first dice spent from the hunter was a 4 to kill the vampire. You could retroactively use your garlic necklace to kill that first vampire. Oh, that's smart. I should have done that. That's right. That was my only vampire, wasn't it? That was my only vampire. And then I could save that. Yes. 100%. Yeah, because that's my only vampire in the deck for sure. So I get Blood Ritual back, which is huge because I had a unused 5 and I had the 4. I had an unused 5 and I would have had a 4 from the Hunter. Yes, good call, Joey. Thank you, thank you. Sad, just the mag of the world, all kinds of. Sad just says no takesies, backsies. And Joey says use that 4 plus the Heretics 5 to kill the last creature. Man, Joey got me this game, so I'm going to do whatever Joey tells me to. Sad, just a magical world. All kinds of hanky things can happen. Mike James takes these backsies are a YouTube house rule used by all creators. Massive asterisk. Dude, I'm just gonna like get a tattoo of an asterisk on my forehead just for just for such it. Yeah, like a mulligan in golf. What mulligans? Those first shots never happened. Wow, that's hilarious. I should have peeked at this when you killed the cat familiar, by the way. It's a crawling ooze. That's not terrible. I'll probably just discard the cat's eye opal. That's funny. No takesies, backsies. For 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, plus the 2 that were in the horde from the box. We're gonna have to add another one as soon as one of these adventurers exhausts all their crap, but it is what it is. All right. I don't love my chances, I'm not gonna lie. So, Crawling Ooze! Crawling Ooze is immune to direct attacks. You may discard one item from an adventure on watch to defeat Crawling Ooze. He has 2 damage. It would have been nice to have seen that earlier. Are you a goblin creature? No! Alright, we are going to... if Greg wins, it's clearly from the mulligan. In fairness, if you really did know there was only one vampire, I think this can be allowed. If there was uncertainty, then I don't condone this behavior. That is only one. I saw it early. I mean, it could, in theory, come up again, because I just had a reshuffle, but that is literally the only vampire in the game. I'm never activating this. So I'm discarding the Cat's Eye Opal. I bought it for cheap. You were defeated. We will get the Hex in play. The next 4 creatures are going to be hexed. Actually, I will Spyglass this. No, I'll Lucky Charm to roll this 3 again. I made it an 8. That's excellent. I will Spyglass to peek at this. It's a summons. Oh, dear God. I will not use the Hex because I don't care. Oh, I will not use the Hex yet. So it's a summons. I know the ghoulish head's coming in. Rampage is nice. Leap is nice. Blood Ritual is interesting. All right. So we did all that. Then we peaked. It's a we peaked while that was still alive. Crawling Ooze is killed. This gets revealed. We have to immediately exhaust one of our ability cards. Oh, man. We're gonna do it to the Heretic. Because I think oh, man. One of these things cannot... I mean, Hex is probably the ability that's not getting exhausted. And we add a creature. That's only the first time. And that's not for... It's only... Yeah, it's not for each adventurer. That's... I'm assuming that's how that's supposed to read. All right. You okay? You all know what I'm rooting for now. Lucky Shuffle, Lucky Shuffle. Oh man, I'm dying. This is a lot of cards, kids. So I did the summon. I exhausted. I had to add that, and then this goes over here, right? Because it was 9 plus 3 effectively. So there should be, and then I killed 1, so there should be 12 cards here. There should be 11 cards here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11. Correct. Sometimes I can count to 11. Each undead creature in a line gets +3. That's not a thing. I'm going to do the Hex. I'm negating the next 4 things in the first position, so I'm not including that. I think that's correct. Someone can tell me if that's wrong. I'm going to do the 9. You dead. It is what it is. This flips. I'm negating its reveal ability and its first position ability, if I'm reading this correctly now. So I have 2 more charges on that. Only 6 health. It is a human. That would have been helpful now. Funny that. Is there an undead in here? There's not an undead. It wouldn't have been that helpful. So now we have the Herald Acolyte. Search the graveyard for what, but I negated all of its crap, so I don't have to worry about that. And again, that was the second time I went to peak to increase my dice values, and yeah, it didn't matter. Because why would it ever? Great. Woo, the Heretics dice are not very good. That is for sure. So, Barbarian has a big fat 4. Man, if I could have gotten that staff for the orcs, that would have been super nice. I was just 1 money away, but I could have applied that 10 to 2 creatures, but I guess they'd have to be revealed at that point. They had to be revealed, I think, for direct attacks. We're going to have to do this a little randomly. So we're going to do Blood Ritual to kill this. Oh, Bone Knight. Good kill. That's now an exhausted die. Saved me 10 worth of damage. I think I... Yeah, the math ain't great. I'm going to use the cat. Oh, man. 6 is like so annoying. I'm going to use the 3 and the 3 for the Acolyte. Acolyte's dead. This reveals. Reveal power is garbage, but I still have to negate it, so we're down to 1 power there. Sucker has 12 health. Excellent. I'm going to do a Rampage. I'm going to take the top first 3 cards of the line, shuffle them together, and randomly place 1 back in the first position. Rolling a die. I'm putting the first back in the first position. It is the Bone Knight. That's another guy in the first position, so Hex is now fully exhausted, and this die resets to a 4. And I have used all of the witch's powers. So I killed a Bone Knight. Ah, crap. So technically, a summon card still triggers. How does that work, man? I always forget this crap. Summon cards are never like destroyed. They could be negated only by like the heretics thing. So I still have to carry it out, I think. That used to be in the back of the book in the first. It is immediately resolved. Why is that not where it's supposed to be? Summon cards, FAQ, burnout, deck construction. Which power we use, I just had to. There's something about summon cards that they're never destroyed. I guess it was there. The summon cards revealed. It's immediately resolved. Page 17. Summon cards always trigger. If they are discarded as part of an effect that triggers are, they resolved instead. After the card is fully resolved, the effect was targeting resolved against a creature. Great. So this dude's dead, but this resolved. I had to immediately exhaust one of my ability cards. That's terrible. That's really bad. I'm going to exhaust Hex. So I'm not doing it again. Although I could. No. Woof. Then this guy comes in. But then he gets destroyed by the effect that was going to destroy the summons card, is effectively how that works. And then there were 7. Okay. Rampage is exhausted. I have Blood Ritual, Exploit, and Leap. One of them cannot be used. All 3 of them can destroy a thing. Fantastic. Tempted to get Hex back, but I don't think that makes sense. These first position powers are going to crush me. My other, I still haven't used the cat either. My other option is I just discard. I do Blood Ritual. Decrete the creature in X position. And then I just can't use Exploit. So these are just stuck. I keep Hex. I exhaust Hex to negate the next 4 powers in first position. That might be smarter. This 4 is garbage. I kind of like that. There is no one Hallowed or Acolyte online, so that's garbage. So again, the next 4 positions in first position. Man, I don't know if I just don't think I've been playing Hex right ever. Today? No, ever. And again, I use an exhausted die for that. So the Witch is fully exhausted. The Heretic is fully exhausted. I can use this 4 and this 5 to kill the Bone Knight. Dead. This reveals. Ongoing is negated, so that's down to a 3. 8 health. I have this 8. That was a great reroll. Oh, his health is increased by the total number of items equipped, so it's actually an 11. No, it's negated. So he's dead. Remember, I could use a die on exploit, but exploit or leap have to stay face up, and I think it's going to be exploit. Done. This triggers reveal. Nope, that goes down to a 2. It actually doesn't affect anything, unfortunately. I will use this 5. Nope, I'll use the Cat Familiar's attack. I get the peak here. It's a Seal Breaker Acolyte. We have 3 more. It's a vampire. Oh, you've got to be kidding me. Oh, dude, that's hilarious. You got it. Lucky shuffle, lucky shuffle. It worked. So stupid, dude. All right, well, he's got 13 health. It doesn't matter. He's super dead with leap, so I can't exhaust exploit. He's dead with leap. The barbarian has +1 range for this round, but who cares? This flips. Oh wait, that would have been negated. That would have been negated. Hold on. Leap is not used. This goes down to a 1. That's right. That's right. All right, we're good. We're totally good. So that's totally ignored. I'm going to use the 4. That's so much better, and I still have leap. All right, I think we're good now. It was funny. I'm going to negate the defeated power, so Hex is used up. It's one of them mattered that much. I will use, it's unhallowed. It's the Prince of Vultures. I'm going to use the 10. And that's going to give me 8 total dice left. I also have the Helm of Prophecy, which I haven't used yet. So that's dead. So if this makes me exhaust the power, I'm totally screwed. Summon! Oh, crap. No. No. I'm holding on to the 10. This is dumb. Because I need to use the leap. Ah, but yeah, of course I would have kept the leap. That's so gross. How? It's a summon. Immediately stun one of your powers? This might not be bad. All right, I can stun exploit. So if I use exploit, I have to flip it. And then discard this to the graveyard and replace with attack card on the Hallowed deck. The Formless ability is not canceled. And so it means we're going to have slimes, which means I'm absolutely going to lose. Are there any slimes in here? I think there's one. Just one slime, and he does 2 damage. Woof. Huh? Wait. Oh, I had to use that die. Oh, that's so sick. I can't even, dude. The Formless I put down there like a long time ago, dude. A long time ago. And that defeated power absolutely will take precedent because Hex is used up. Oh, that's really bad. And this 5, when you stun, you have to use a die. So the thing's not exhausted, but you have to use the die. So I think I'm playing that totally right. That's gross. How many summon cards did I go through in this one round? This is all from this round, I think. 1, 2. Yeah, I saw 3 summons cards. Look how big that deck is. And I got three of the 4 summons cards there. Oh, that's horrible. Yeah, 8 health. I can use leap and I can kill it, but then the slime comes back out, and I have nothing. I have absolutely nothing. I have the 3, and I just don't have the 5. I do not have a slime type over here. Wait, I can discard. Oh, never mind. Ongoing. I can discard an item from an adventurer on watch. She's on watch. Oh! Oh, we figured it out! We've solved the puzzle! That was like some a lot of serious emotional swings going on right there. Wow, right? Because I forgot I can use an item, and I had that. I never used the Helm of Prophecy, and I assume when you could discard an item, I don't know if can you discard an exhausted item? I don't know. The rules are so rough, dude. There are like pages of FAQ that Mike has been really good with, but that's a lot to get through. These rules need an absolute overhaul. I mean, you just need I think you almost need a glossary per like creature, dude. It's so rough, like how some of these rules come together, and it does lessen my enjoyment of this game compared to the base game because there's just so many more moving parts. The more moving parts, the more like a really rough rulebook can make. But that was absolutely nuts. I have literally one power left, so the summons card's doing the stun as opposed to the exhausting. He's way better. And then having that vampire not steal a die, that was crazy. It was like I was like, oh no, he's stealing a die. And then no, he's not because I had the hex redone. Like it was just the witch's hex ability is really strong, but it makes up for the fact that she's only rolling d4s. I don't know. I'm hesitant to look at the chat. Someone's gonna tell me. Someone's gonna tell me I screwed something up. Yep. Hold on. Pretty sure. Woof. Lots of comments. Da, 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 da. Maze Knight 84. What's up, Maze Knight? How are you, sir? You resolve it and destroy the Unhallowed. Correct. You have to carry out the summons, but if the power defeats the Unhallowed, none of their abilities except for a defeated ability. Is this still the second game? I believe so. I also came in late. Yes, definitely the second game. Thanks, Mike. Says Tony. I've been bouncing in and out of meetings at work. Missed the one round first game. Yeah. Pretty sure this is the last round. Pretty sure. Yep, final round. It's looking good. Yay. Says Sagitt. Sagitt will be happy with that vampire. It's Sagitt's fault. Glad Sagitt is bad luck in this game and not me. Oh, darn. Bad timing, vampire. Tony says extra lucky shuffle for Sagitt. Still sad about our hero vampire. Mike Owens, that was a roller coaster. And Sagitt says, wait, what happened there at the end? At least this game is way more polished and, let's say, Imperium. Yeah. I assume that was very good use of sarcasm, and I appreciate it. All right. I can try to explain what happened at the end. I had one card left. The summon came out. The summon brought out, made me stun this with exploit, so I lost my 5 die. And then it made me put the formless back in play. When I defeated the formless with leap, that killed the formless, but it made me bring the crawling ooze back in play. And then I can't direct attack the crawling ooze. So actually, this was, even if I had the 5, that doesn't do anything for me. Another thing to consider. But I did have the Helm of Prophecy, which hadn't been used. I'm not sure if it had been used, if it mattered. I don't know. But I was able to discard an item to kill the crawling ooze. Fortunately, there was only one slime in play because all my other items were exhausted. Oh, this has, maybe that's the difference between passive and exhaust? Maybe you can discard a passive item. I don't know. But anyway, I was able to discard an item to kill the crawling ooze and get out of the tower ruins and save the day from all the Sagitt's in the world. Now you're going to be willing to play more over this weekend? It depends, Tony. How much time we got? Yeah, I'm bringing like Uprising. What else am I bringing? I don't know. I got like 6 games over there, which is way too much. I'll probably bring Bloody In. I can bring Gollum if you think your lovely wife would want to play that. This discard to kill is on the card or a universal rule. That is only for the crawling ooze, and it's because you cannot direct attack them. So that is from the crawling ooze. Indeed. The enemies that did not end up in this deck, we had a frost worm, we had a wandering giant, we had an enchanted golem, we had a floating mind, we had a zombie horde, and a forest giant. A frost worm, wandering giant, forest giant. Yeah, the abilities are cool. I like the barbarian's flavor a lot. The heretic was so wounded all game, he wasn't really doing much. The witch's hex is cool. The hex and the bounty hunter stuff, it feels a little cheesed at times, but I do like the flavor of it. I just wish hex was way more better explained. It's just It's funny too because like there's the FAQ on it. Some dude asked an obvious question and Mike misunderstood the question and was like, his initial response was no, and then gave an answer that seemed to suggest yes, and it was like, huh? Just made no sense. But if it's the number of powers versus the number of creatures, and as soon as you do it, does it automatically affect the person that's already in first position? I would assume not. But then the way this is answered, like it's just really bad, man. It's a very poorly handled FAQ. Actually, not affect real powers that were triggered before entering first position, or first position powers that were triggered before activating Hex. So I guess that would be on. Yeah, I assume that's ongoing. So ongoing would be triggered before activating Hex. So I absolutely assume that first position powers. I think I'm playing that right. Once I got the hang of, once I realized it was powers and not creatures. Thank you for the super chat, Joey. That's very generous of you, and I super appreciate that. Tony, you seem more positive after that game than after the first one. Sages, okay, well, I guess a win is a win. Tony, I thought Greg was going to grab, set a watch, and Nemo's War and throw them at the front door after that first round. No, I wasn't. Like, it takes more than one round. The thing is, like, Nemo's War always does that crap, whereas set of watch, this is more random. Tony, just bring them all. We probably won't play them all, but I like options. And Joey, I did offer my fire pit for some of his Nemo War cards. Or Boston Tea Party them. Yeah. That let's just say I wasn't close to needing a break. I mean, I 100% that Nemo's War playthrough, like that was very genuine. I was like, I need to give myself a timeout. It's like a 5-year-old. Like I need some time to step away to think about why I'm getting angry and how silly that is because these are just games. 43 going on 7, guys. It's great. We need to fund the vampire effort, allocate the funds properly. I mean, yeah, man. I hope my Forgotten Isles or Forbidden Isles, Forgotten Isles. I think it's Forgotten Isles, Forsaken Isles. There's like Forbidden Circles, Forgotten Age. I mean, it gets all confusing. Forsaken Isles. I am hopeful that they have learned a lot from what didn't go exactly great with the first 2 games as far as rules and stuff, and I hope that the third is a more polished product. You know, I know that it does make sense to me that the first was a little bit less ambitious, so they tried a much more ambitious thing with the second, and they definitely ran into a pretty big rules quagmire, and I'm assuming that was enough of a headache for Mike that he's not going to want to repeat that. And again, I'm so appreciative. It'd be worse if it was like, hey, we have this crappy rule situation, and like there was no support from the publisher or the designer. And again, the biggest example of that is Champions of Horror. Champions of Horror is an amazing game. I really like it. It will never. It's always going to be limited in how much I like it because it just got so it's got so little support from the publisher or the designer that it's really hard to kind of take that out and just know that you're in for an unbelievably frustrating rules quagmire experience almost every time you play, for sure. Saja says we need to fund that way. Tony says Team Vampire and Team Manticore bake sale. Mike Owen says the amount of games that irritate me is stupid for 36-year-olds, so I understand. Sajid, I just don't play games that annoy me. I pre-play everything before playing it with other people. I have packed up stuff after 5-10 minutes and never even looked at it again. Yeah, I think I would do that more. There are things like it's funny. I mean, and this isn't like, oh, I'm not like doing the work of Mother Teresa here, right? But if I have a game, especially a popular game like Dwellings of Eldervale, right? If it's just me, like yeah, that game, I would have given that back to Charlie in a second. I think there's always utility to be like, well, one, it's a popular game, so like maybe I'm just missing something. Maybe I'm playing a rule wrong. Um, that hasn't happened often, right? The closest I would say, like, I mean, the most extreme example was my first few playthroughs of Spirit Island. I was like, huh? And then it grew to absolutely love it. So I'm always like, the chance I'm dismissing something. It's a very popular game. Popular games are popular for a reason. Even if they're ultimately not for me, like I'm trying to figure it out. The other thing is though, it's like, all right, I have it. I do want to get it on a channel, and I want to like kind of wrestle with it and figure it out enough to get it on the channel and do that well. So there are times I'm playing games I don't love because of the channel. And there are times like Nemo's War, I am curious enough about what it does well that I want to see all of the motivations in action before I get rid of it, because otherwise I'd regret it. Imperium for me was like, I don't like this game enough to even want to get through the extra 5 nations that I hadn't really explored. It was just like, there's not enough there for me to care. Um, it is what it is. It was just ready to move on for sure. I try to avoid games that annoy me, says Mike Owens, but it still happens sometimes. Mostly it's video games and less other things. Sad says, hey, people tend to annoy me more than games, so there is that. More difficult to skip people. Oh man. Truth. Truth. I've become way more introverted in my old age, but because I don't know, man. There's a lot. So my problem was probably story time with Greg is definitely going a weird direction. So I ran for public office in 2019, and I was on all day every day with people, uh, and a lot of really awesome people and a lot of not so awesome people, at least for my tastes. And it definitely made me far more introverted for the rest of my existence, I think. So I was never like a super extrovert. I mean, channel be damned. Like I understand that's probably weird coming from me. I have more of an introverted streak. I mean, there's a reason why I'm a solo gamer, right? Like why I take to that so much. But I also play a lot with friends. But I went from like being slightly extroverted to like definitely slightly introverted for sure. Mike Owens says, haha, you're not wrong. But this was cool. This was to show you. I think this showed the game at its absolute worst, or not its worst, at its most brutal. Um, and then I think we got to play through where it just really came. You're kind of teetering on that edge the entire game. Couple of lucky breaks, and you see how those cards can really punch you in the face. And if you have the right powers and you're trying to balance, I managing 4 characters the way they've set this up, this is totally fine. I think it really works, and I'm so much happier with a game that knows what it is and knows what it's balanced for. And it would have been so easy for them to be like, oh, for 2 to 5 players, and the balancing would have been absolutely out of whack. I'd much rather, hey, you need 4 characters, play as many people as you want, but you have to have 4 characters. And if you look at the games that do that, they tend to do very well for me because I think they're so much more polished. Dawn of the Zeds, obviously, this does that. Darkest Night Second Edition, which again is a game I'm ready to move on from, but like I still really like it. So I'm going to get that on the channel within the next month as well. I have a patron challenge involving that I've been kind of little delinquent in getting to. Sorry, Philip, but we're going to get there soon. But yeah, I do like that about the game and how it's balanced for sure. The pandemic has turned me into something of an introvert with how much I had to spend inside, says Mike. Sadja says I worked in retail several years, meeting 2,000 or so people every day. It tires you out. And then Mike Owen says I did online retail, even dealing with people over the phone for 8 hours a day is exhausting. Yeah, it's a lot, dude. It definitely is a lot. So, but this was cool. I again tonight driving to Boston. Tomorrow morning, Tony and I will be sitting down with Andrew from Chip Theory Games, exploring Elder Scrolls. So that'll be really fun. And then I'll be back next week. I'm not sure if I'm going to have a playthrough on Monday or not. I'm not sure what time I'm getting home Sunday night, but I do think I'm going to start off next week with a Dwellings of Eldervale playthrough. So we'll see if I can get a couple of games of that under my belt on Sunday when I get home, but it depends on traffic and stuff like that. So if I take Monday off and come in on Tuesday, but I do hope to get something on the channel on Monday for sure. I mean, heck, I might just pull out Zeds because I just love that game so much. It's always fun. Joey says public office, president playthrough. Imagine the war games you could partake in. Oh God, Status is cool game, man. Mike Owen says give all the Elder Scrolls info, please and thank you. Good luck with Elder. Have fun with it. Yeah, it should be a good time. It'd be nice to finally meet someone from Chip Theory face to face too. I've had a very weird relationship with them over the years. It's like they're a funny company, man. They do a lot of things. Some are amazingly awesome, and some of them are like, "What are you guys? What are you doing, and why?" I'm probably backing in next week regardless, but that's beyond the point. Yeah, right. I'm not sure yet. I'm very much on the fence. I look at what I've already backed, and I'm like, "Whoa." I don't. I just don't even know how, man. That's why I'm bringing Tony. I'm hoping Tony backs it, so I don't. So I don't have to. Tony, I hope you're back on Elder Scrolls if he's still there. So, um, so that's having gaming friends is great. That's you got to convert all your friends into gaming friends because then between all of you, you get all the games that you want to play. Sad says just to restore balance. I am not going to back it. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I don't think Sad just running around there as a chip theory head for sure. Oh, that's what I need to do next week, man. I have to get Dart on the channel. I haven't done too many bones in a while. A while. I currently only have Andromeda's Edge backed. I can afford another. We can convince Steve to back it, says Tony. I don't know, man. After Steve's experience when, by the way, this is the story. When Steve was supposed to get Nemesis and didn't fill out the pledge manager because he knew that my gullible ass would eventually just buy it if he didn't. So Steve will back it, then not do the pledge manager, knowing that I'll just buy it eventually, because it's a smart business play for him. I was going to look at something. I was going to look something up. I forget. Oh wait, I can try to tell you what I'm backed right now. It's not awful. I have my friend Brian has like I think 50 Kickstarters coming to him right now. Something insane or Kickstarter Game Found. I have Tainted Grail, Kings of Britain. I have Euthia, Oathsworn, Primal, Red Dust Rebellion, Plum Island are on the GMT 500. I have the Titans. I have the Nemesis expansion, or the Uprising expansion, I should say. The Unbreakable, All Good Things is also on the GMT 500. I have an Arkham LCG side scenario. I've kind of bounced off Arkham in general, but I still like the side scenarios for what they are. And I have Forsaken Isles. So it's not terrible, but it adds up. That's a lot of things I'm waiting on. So I think it's like 11 or 12 total. Like James said, I have no motivation to back another CTG game, no exclusives, and it'll still be later if I want it. Yeah, I dig that. Sages says, it's Mike James. Sorry, I saw Mike Owens, Mike James. Yeah, Mike James. I have no motivation to back another CTG game. Great. Sages, I really like the big campaign stuff, which means bunch of Kickstarters. Yeah, I'm really intrigued. I think the next one that has my attention. I was never a Kingdom Death Monster guy. I never understood the allure. I never understood the idea of minis I had to make. Like it's just too much. But I'm very intrigued by Aeon's Trespass Odyssey. But that's just then I look at the campaign games I have and what I have coming, and I'm like, I just don't know, man. There's no point having another big box in my house that I'm not going to play through. Like my group just started Frosthaven. I have Madara still over there that I would love to play through one of these days. I got decently far into it, but I'm at the point where I just want to reset it and start over with 3 other players because it's just too much for true solo. At least it was for me. I was like, this would be so much more fun with my friends. So we'll see. But it's hard, man. These campaign games just take so much time. But yeah, a bunch of Kickstarters for sure. There's a bunch coming down the pipe too, man. I don't know if you watch King of Average. I mean, he's got some quirks, but I could do without some of the clickbaity crap that he does. But he's a fountain of information about these Kickstarters, and it's just unbelievable how many big games are coming out in the next few months. We are playing through Aeon's Trespass Odyssey now. Yeah, it looks great. It looks great, and it looks like you get a lot of the Kingdom Death Monster flavor from an experience standpoint. I mean, it's different settings and whatever, but it seems, from what I understand, it's really you can see Kingdom Death Monster in its design. So I'm definitely intrigued. It is massive, it is insane, but at its best, it is incredible. Yeah, it looks pretty sick. Um, yeah, so we'll see. We'll see. Lots of things to consider. There's another game that hit my radar. What the heck was it? I emailed myself about it to look more into it. Mistfall, I think. yeah, Mistfall. It's like supposed to be like a little bit Mage Knighty. There's another game it was compared to, but it's like mad cheap right now. But I guess the rule book's like a disaster. But if you can struggle through that, it's actually supposed to be a really good game. I found I don't play campaign games very much. A few missions in, and I'm done usually. Sadger says I have issues with that guy's channel. Cannot give him the attention. Sorry. Yeah, dude. I'm. There are few that I'm just like, ugh, man. Like they have some quirks. But I mean, for me, it's like if I'm because I do like to stay up on the information that like they have it all, so it's helpful. But I do it is what it is. I'm not trying to start like create content creator wars. Everyone does their thing. You got to be yourself, but they have some they have a way of handling their business sometimes that can be a little unsavory, I guess. Same with the yellow duck dude. Yeah, he was somebody else on my mind. We're the one with to keep nothing against that, just to be sure. Oh yeah, no, I get it. I get it. I get all of it. We have very similar tastes in content creators, I would guess, judging from those two comments. So, but I do need to get a run on. I got to pick up Mrs. Playthroughs in about an hour so we can hit the road and get up to Boston. This was super fun, y'all. I hope everyone has an amazing weekend. And until next time, happy gaming.